Hello.
Hello. Hello, Wombat.
What's going on, guys?
The beef continues. Oh, forgot to hit the button. Hold on.
Are we live? Do we need to start
now
again?
We are. Now we can do it. Had to turn the light on. Hello. Welcome back.
Perfect.
That's it. Good show. See you guys later.
All right, cool.
Nothing to report this week.
Yeah, nothing's happened. Nothing's going to happen. I got a new shirt.
I see that. Nice. Dude, I like the green.
Like that shirt.
The shadow doesn't make it.
One.
It looks.
Is this thing on?
Yeah. Now
Wombat, hi. Yes, you're here. I see you. We need to do a field sobriety test. We have to do that for all our guests now.
Why? What happened? What happened?
SFSTs for all my friends.
Nothing happened, Wombat.
Nothing happened. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'll log off and go watch your show to figure out what happened.
No, you'll have to go back a few weeks.
Who was drunk in your show?
No one.
Nobody.
Hey, anyway, how are you, Wombat? What have you bought lately? What's the latest thing? What can we talk about? What are you? What's going on, Wombat's world? You have a new facility.
Yeah, new background, which is crooked because of my kids.
I see that.
I think it looks good.
OCD was.
Is that better?
That's perfect. Well, a little bit left.
Yeah, it's a little off still.
Yeah, a little bit. No, other left.
Come left.
Other left. Stage left. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, it's great now. And never down, never out, which you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. You know what it is? It's because I was bragging about the desk height before we went live.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't mess things up.
I know. Well, so the other day I walked in here and I was going to record for my show and everything was destroyed. Like the computer screen was turned. The light was like falling off the desk. And I'm like,
kids.
I thought it was the dog. I'm like, what's going on? Like, did she jump on the
dog?
desk?
Dog's fine.
And no, it was my son. He shot a weapon out of his Lego and lost it and decided to move everything on my desk to find it. Good news, he found it.
We need common sense Lego control.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, no, I haven't bought anything. It's weird. So
report back when you have. We'll see you later.
I do have a meeting with a garage builder tomorrow morning at 8:00.
Good.
So,
that's awesome, man.
That'll be all my money and some more.
We can fill it. We can fill it with 911, sir.
Yeah. So
Porsches.
I'm looking.
Oh, not the tragedy that happened September 11th, 2001.
No, that'd be a terrible joke.
Jesus, dude, that's horrible.
No,
what does even that mean? God,
like the car. Like the car.
Porsches.
Rubble.
Yeah. Oh man.
What about you guys?
Steel beams? I don't know. Hey Gonky. Yeah, what have you been up to, Gonky? What is broken this week that we need super chats for?
I've got everything glued back together for now, so it should hold. But no, man, just standard doing the dad thing. You know, I live just outside of Pensacola, so there was some jet noise going on this week.
Did something happen in Pensacola?
I don't know.
Lawn chairs blown away.
Yeah, I think I lost your hearing.
Do you want to file a complaint?
No, you know, all of us Pensacolian area types, we love the Blue Angels, and there were no complaints here, but I think we're going to talk about that later, possibly.
It's possible. That is possibly a topic for today.
That's right. So what's wild is so my son, it made the news, of course, this flyover we're going to talk about. But my son saw it and he got all super excited. And when he was in town, he made my wife buy him a flyable little Blue Angel styrofoam F-18. So flyovers work. So he was all excited about it.
Yeah, but I'm not a scientist, but there's probably some kind of bias in that, being that you're his dad. Like he probably would have.
I don't know.
That
I would go the other way with how much Gonky talked poorly about the Blue Angels when he was a gray fighter pilot.
That's true. I did. Flight suit too tight.
Well, we are definitely going to see some tight flight suits in this segment. I'll tell you that right.
It's one. You read the comments?
Is that
no? There's a video. It's almost needs to be censored. Is what I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh,
hide your kids.
I got
you. All right.
On the beach. Little moose knuckle.
There's a lot going on. There's just so much happening.
There's no mooses down here, Wombat. It's Florida, dude.
There might be some moose.
The humidity.
There's no moose. Yeah.
The humidity.
Does it make things look greasy?
A lot of things happening. Try to keep it above the equator is all I'm going to say.
Oh, geez.
Yikes. This sounds like a great show. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Nah, man. Other than
we've
that,
saved it for you.
It's been slow, which is nice, man. It's nice.
That's cool.
Thank the U.S. Navy, Wombat.
Mover, how about you? What have you been up to?
Well, pissing people off.
No. Nice. You? No.
Yeah.
Like real people or social media people?
Firefighters this time.
But real firefighters?
Second responders. Yeah, you can't call them that. But that's why they're mad at me, because
I did see you post something where you said second responders. And
yeah, they got picked up by the Airman NCO page. Like I'm famous now.
I LOL'd. Like actually.
Well, listen, everybody knows I'm a cop, and everybody knows that the fire department, we love them. I love the fire department because they save me out of the burning jet or when I get shot, if God forbid. But we still make fun of them.
When. I like how we say when.
I'm just saying, like we appreciate them, but also they take a lot of naps.
My brother's a fireman, and it seems like it's kind of like the pilot Wizzo beef. We're not sure who the pilot or the Wizzo is.
I would prefer to hang out with a firefighter
than a Wizzo.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. You don't want the extra gas though when you're talking fires.
No.
You don't want that.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, you don't want any gas when that's thing. But anyway, it was the 12-year anniversary of my lightning strike story.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I posted that, and I did not expect it to even be like, I was just like, oh, because as we wind down Mover's career, these Facebook memories keep popping up, like first solo, first dollar ride and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to share those as they happen. And I found the selfie that I took because for those that don't know, 2014, I was flying with Chile because that's public information now. It was in the article. And we ended up in a thunderstorm, embedded thunderstorm over the Gulf of, then it was Mexico. Now it's America. There I was smoking a Lucky there. And then what happened was we took black so thick you could walk on it.
Why don't you guys just fly away from thunderstorms?
I tried.
Don't ruin a good story.
I tried. No, listen, here's the real story, okay?
Just avoid them,
I'm on this Swifty level 2 blue thing in the Red Air Squadron going, why am I still doing this? The weather's bad, and I take off and call tied on because that's what the Navy does. It's not tied, it's tied on, which tie one on, whatever. And I'm like, I'm happy back here in radar-assisted trail. My radar is doing all the work. I'm 1.5 miles back. I can see a little dot, but we're going into the weather, and I don't really want to mess with it because I like my little radar that's working. And my flight lead goes, hey, you going to get on board or not? And I'm like, two's tied. And that was not the right answer. He said, cleared whatever. Was the parade close? Yeah, what's the Navy call it? I've already brain dumped all that stuff.
Parade.
Yeah, close parade.
Sorry, parade.
Anyway, so I rejoined like a good wingman, and then we end up in some clouds. And I'm like, boy, I really wish I was back there a mile where I used to be. And then it started raining real hard, and then it was hail, and then there's a crack and a flash and static over the radio. And I'm like, man, something shocked me. And I key up, and I'm like, I think we just got struck by lightning. And he says, get away from me. So I lost wingman, and we pop out of the weather. And
so your personality's always kind of negatively affected you. Get away from me. I've never had a flight lead say, get away from me. I'm kidding. Good.
Chile
you asked me to be on, by the way. Continue.
I didn't say that. I'm the wingman.
He said it. He said, get away from me.
Yeah, because we got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Anyway, as the sortie progressed, I thought he was hypoxic. He slowly became cognitively impaired, which I can't even say that word. And so I called base and I said,
"Can you describe that more?" Like
he was slurring his speech. He didn't know where he was. Like
really?
Yeah, it was like a hypoxia simulator.
Really?
Yeah, and it was getting like as we went on, it got worse. So like at first, I'm like, oh, he's fine. Like he's talking about stuff, and then it was like a slow decline. And I guess what happened, the A model did not have lightning protection for the pilot. So he was keying up when it went through the antenna, and I guess he completed the circuit and arced over to my jet and went out the nose, which I wasn't keying up. I was just,
you guys weren't like touching tips, but yeah, I hear you.
No, not Blue Angel close. I tell you that much. And so talked to base. They said, hey, we'll bring him back. Recommend an arrested landing, which I'm an Air Force guy. I don't understand why we always do arrested. It's a 10,000 foot runway. Why do we need arrested landings? Just land.
It's what we do, bro.
And I brought him back for the GCA. We avoided all the thunderstorms, just like Maverick and Cougar, and chased him down, gave him the lead, and he bolted because he was focused on taking that trap, and then went around instead of just stopping. And as he's coming back around, that's where I was like, oh, things are not going well, because his pattern was also degrading and he was still slurring. And I remember him saying, oh, this is hard, in a very slow way. And I'm like, I'm going to watch a mishap right now. This is going to suck. And so I rejoined as close as I could without getting in the way and talked him around the final turn and got him into the wire. And he took the arrested landing, and then fire was there. They pulled him out of the cockpit, rushed him to the emergency room where he had to do, I think, a couple hyperbaric rides or something. Like, I don't know.
Really? From a lightning strike?
Yeah. And like he was in rough shape for a little while. But over the weekend got better. For my part, though, the XO got base radio. He's like, hey, River 32 or whatever my side number was. He's like, why don't you take a trap on the off-duty runway? And I'd never taken a trap before. And I'm like, I'm just going to hold up here.
Take a trap.
So I held about 45 minutes until the runway cleared and then landed normally. By then, everybody was gone. They'd forgotten I was even flying. And so, I do the books, the forms. They're like, hey, sir, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I got struck by lightning, got a little shock. It's fine. And of course, the safety here is, you got shocked? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll write it in a report. No big deal. Like, you need to go to base medical because you got shocked. And I said, I don't want to go to base medical. It is 3:00 on a Friday. I want to go home, or else traffic's about to be real bad. He's like, no, you got to go get checked out. Okay. And when I went to the Bell Chase medical, it was a new tech.
That on base? That's on base.
Yeah, it was on base. It was a new tech. And when she hooked up the leads, I could tell something wasn't right because she kept like taking it off, putting it back on. She didn't really know. Like, it was the first time. And so,
like the thing from Idiocracy, like,
yeah,
this goes in your mouth, this goes in your butt.
Yeah.
So, hold on, let me get those.
She does the thing and she won't tell me. Like, she hits the button. I see her face, like the color leaves her face, and I'm like, uh-oh. And she walks out, and I'm like, okay, well, I get to leave now. Well, who walks in is the Navy cops with their guns and the fire department. And I'm like, why are you guys here? I didn't break any laws. And they're like, you have to come with us, sir. And I'm like, why? Because we have to bring you to the emergency room. Like, I'm in a hospital. I'm like, this is a clinic. I was like, well, I don't want to go to the hospital. Can I drive? My car's here. And they're like, no, you have to ride with us. And I said, okay. So it's raining now, and they're having trouble with the stretcher. Nice. So I'm out in the rain as they're, trying to fix the stretcher into the ambulance. We finally get in the ambulance, soaking wet. They put the leads on me, and they looked and go, huh, all right. I said, what's that mean? It's like, oh, you're fine. I'm like, oh, cool. Can I get out? No, that just means we can't run lights and siren to the hospital. I'm like, the only reason you want to be in an ambulance, you can't even do the one. Can we do it anyway? Like, no, protocol is if you're not, life and death, we can't. I'm like, so then they take me to the hospital and pissed off the nurses there. And I got a bag of saline and aspirin and a doctor that told me a story about how lightning struck a tree in his backyard.
Wasn't the one doc, was it, Mover?
The one doc?
Are you guys trying to share a brainwave right now?
No, the one doc. Dude, when I first joined 204.
Oh, not the no. This is a civilian doctor at a real hospital. No.
I literally, when I walked into the clinic the first time I saw the doc,
she was not involved at all in this whole story. Trust me, would have gone probably worse.
I thought it was like that scene from Days of Thunder. I'm like, this gotta be a joke. There's the squadron has hired a professional and they are testing me right now.
Nice.
I'm like,
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
Hilarious. Man, good old Navy medicine. Well, I'm glad you survived. Did he have any long-term effects?
I don't know. I mean, he flew again after they cleared him.
Yeah, okay.
Gave him an air medal.
Crazy, man. I've never heard of anybody getting struck by lightning where it affected them that quickly.
It wasn't quick. It was a slow degradation. Well, it was an 8 model, dude.
Yeah,
it's funny on that post, some of the maintainers actually replied and they were like, yeah, those jets were both. You could see where the lightning had blown out parts or whatever.
Crazy.
I was like,
that's crazy.
I had been struck before in an F-16 and all it did was mess up the avionics.
Yeah. I was
they blinked and that was it.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like it was, so,
Anyway.
I don't know if it did anything. I don't know. Maybe it did long term. I guess we'll find out. But crazy story.
Yeah.
I'm glad you lived, dude, because this podcast.
I was not the one. No, I'm Maverick in this story. I was fine.
Well, fine. I mean, you pissed off a lot of people, it sounds like.
Well, I do, and I continue to. That's the superpower I gained.
Yeah.
But I already had it, so it just amplified my ability.
Amplified it. Piss off worldwide trolls on a different level.
It went from small scale to wide scale.
Now we have a
global I heard you got a NAM out of this. That's what they thought you deserved.
I got a Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal out
so
of it.
You brought back your flight lead who's incapacitated, and the Navy thought, you know what? That is deserving of the same medal we basically give you if you have a pulse after your 3 years in a squadron.
Well, I'd only been there for 2.
Well, I'm just saying. So you would have gotten it anyway if you had just lasted another year.
One more year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well,
it's a cool story, though.
Gonky knows the politics involved.
Oh, yeah.
I do, too. Remember, I fly with the offsprings of that squadron. Yeah. I just flew the guy that knows you guys as well. We flew down to Key West, but I don't know his call sign. I won't say it on here.
Yeah.
But he knows. He knew Gonky. I think he was in your fleet squadron, JO squadron.
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. Hopefully, it wasn't all bad, my friend.
No, we didn't talk about you because we had other things to talk about. But it's not all about you, dude.
Check this out. That's still there.
That's awesome.
So Big Red says, saw your profiles in leadership. Now, Doug, find out. Is it still there? Like how recent was
the minute data?
Well,
Yeah,
how
Doug,
recent?
Go to the Pentagon.
Go to
right
the
now.
Pentagon.
I'll be right back.
Immediately.
Hey, Grok,
Immediately.
navigate to the Pentagon.
That's right. Tell the Tesla. Hurry now.
Auto drive yourself to the Pentagon.
Wait, you have a Tesla now? No, you don't.
Doug bought a Tesla.
Oh yeah.
What? Dude, how long have I been off the show?
Months. That even held him hostage for a little while.
Look at that
Did
bad
it?
boy.
That's nice looking.
I
that.
like
that
it.
is
I
nice.
like
That
the
is nice,
wheel
dude.
setup, dude. It really is an improvement. You need to paint
pleased.
like something in the center caps though, like your face or something.
I figured Mover and Gonky show.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you need floating. It has to be floating, so it always stays.
I mean, I could go do it in AI.
You could put an
a
01 on the
sticker.
doors.
There you go.
An 01.
An
03 for Dale.
Yeah. Wow. It's not
Do it
General
for Dale.
Motors, dude.
16 for Biff.
Yeah. Or 3 for the Blue Angel that we're probably going to talk about here in a minute.
Free number 3.
And free 3. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Renee says lightning is like getting shocked for your heart. You got a bad heart rhythm and was not mentally okay. Oh, not me. I mean, maybe me.
No,
but
we already knew you had a bad heart rhythm.
I have a bad mentally.
That had
That's
nothing
probably
to do
why.
with the lightning
Look,
strike.
it's probably why. You know what? None of this actually happened. We got struck in the chalks, and I just made this whole story up in my head. That's why I only got an
you
AM.
are. I mean, most of you know, but you're quite a good storyteller. You should check out your books. So
I think so.
Nice plug. Subtle plug.
Thank
Good.
Thank you.
It's
When
right
is
back-
Wombat's got some good books too.
Treason Part Trey? Treason
That's not
Trey.
gonna- It's well now that I have the office set up and the desk
Oh,
perfect.
is that what
I'm
we were
running
waiting
out-
for?
I'm running out of excuses on how to write.
I'm working on some coloring book stuff. I mean,
Oh,
check this
sweet.
out. See that? What do
That's-
you guys think of that?
No.
That's perfect.
Not bad, huh?
It's pretty good.
If we ever
Oh,
talk
my
about
gosh.
it, yeah. It's not that big of a
We
deal.
We'll
should
get
talk
there
about
eventually.
it. Did something happen?
Anyway, let's get to the audience, and then we'll get to the topics. Okay.
Sorry. I'm just a guest. I'll shut up.
Renee says, Wombat, you've been gone too long.
Thanks.
True.
I'm actually a little nervous to talk about it because I don't know if you guys know, but we're trying to be a more professional operation this time. So Gonky and I are going to hand off topics and run our own
The
products.
problem, Wombat, is we are at step time or walk time, and Mover's
Okay.
like, "Oh, let's try this new tactic." So,
Well,
to
I
me, the
watched
good-
some other channels and they're way more professional than us. And I'm trying to push us over
the
trying to get us
proverbial
there.
Oh,
'Cause
so you
we've
want
been
me to
doing
be
this
more
longer than
professional.
anybody, but we're worse than everybody. So
standard.
Wait, so you picked today to ask me to come back on?
well, we actually asked you before today. I picked today to do the thing that we should have done before.
Knowing I was going to come on.
Well, we didn't know. I was ask Gonky. I didn't know you were coming on as I was doing this. You hadn't shown up yet.
I kept him in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
kept him in
everything
the
is a
dark.
surprise to Mover.
Yeah.
All right. Surprise is what makes the show good.
Our
Continue.
pilot says the trifecta would be an F-22 flying with an English electric lightning getting struck by lightning. Why would a Raptor? Oh. Isn't the F-35 the lightning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. There we go.
User Gads with a corgi. Gonky and or Mover, would you ever appear on a debate show like Piers Morgan to discuss the Russia-Ukraine or Iran situation? No.
No.
Why has nobody asked me?
Yeah.
Wombat,
With
would you
Wombat
ever
would-
appear on a news debate show to talk about the Russia-Ukraine situation?
No.
No.
Dude, straight to jail.
Would you ever do it in a fake airline uniform?
No.
Maybe if I was the P3 guy. Not a horse. Because then I wouldn't know as much as I know. Continue.
Renee
Yeah,
says the
sure.
other channels were boring.
Thank you, Renee.
Not one of them. There's one YouTube channel out there that's not at all.
Never down,
boring.
never out.
That's right.
Brendan
Never
Photography
boring.
says, thank you, gentlemen, for your service in keeping Canada safe. Yes, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
We also piss off Canada on this
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I've done
Canada.
that. Good Lord. I thought Canadians were all nice. Until
Not
you
anymore.
talk about a few little things about Trump. taking
Not in the
over.
summertime.
Or
Size
the winter.
guy. Love your show every week, but rarely able to watch live. Read all of Mover's books, and you should watch Wombat. Then read, there you go. Then read Wombat's books and loved them. Now I got to work on Gonky's book. Gonky,
Those are
aren't
the
you writing
easiest
an
ones.
autobiography?
I am, dude. I'm stalled
Are
out
you
on it.
really?
Yeah.
Why? Nobody cares what you did, Gonky.
Well, I figured when I'm older, I can relive the glory days by reading my own book.
You're the friend that we all need, Wombat.
Hold on a second. So
You've got an entire podcast on
yeah.
helping people and motivating them. And your friend says, I'm writing a book. And you're like, why?
This
Nobody
part
cares.
is always down and always out.
Yeah.
Hold on, hold on.
Go away.
Long term. No. Hold on. So your long term plan towards your purpose in life, which was one of the topics I recorded today, is to write a book about the life you lived, so that you could one day learn to read, and then read this book when you're older.
No, Wombat. What we decided today, I had to talk to somebody about the next topic that we may or may not get into about the Blue Angels. And
Why is this such a
that
big...
got onto the thing that I need a LinkedIn profile. And I said, LinkedIn profiles are for nerds. And that person said, well, I've gotten hundreds of thousands in speaking engagements from that. And I was like, huh? And so Gonky and I have decided
so everybody go over and join
we're
Mooper's
going to
LinkedIn
do
profile.
a Step Brothers style speaking engagement, because everybody does them solo.
Yeah.
But nobody does them as the Mover and Gonky and Luna show.
As a fighter pilot, you need, like, you never want to go in
We're
alone.
a two-ship.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Wall.
That's wrong.
So, like, what I love about you guys is your entrepreneurial spirit.
That's right. We want
so
money.
Strong.
We need money.
That it's only matched by the dumb ideas that you come up to squash the entrepreneurial spirit. It's
we're
like
going to talk. We're going to get up there.
Ice cream cone that just.
We're going to motivate the crap out of some people.
Okay, good. Motivation's actually not what you're looking to do, but that's a whole nother thing.
We're going to teach them whatever they need to learn.
Motivation's the least.
Headstrong, loaded with ignorance. I got you, Wombat. Always down, always out.
Dude, I love it.
A company hires us, and then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, what not to become.
That's fine, as long as they pay you up front.
Yeah.
Make sure you have that.
The check clears.
I think I just ruined our speaking opportunities, Gonky, by publishing this on our show.
Well, it is what it is.
Damn it.
It is what it is.
Just like my political career, dead before it started.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. JD says, I'm booking you 3 for the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, I mean,
perfect.
Beautiful out there. I'd go.
Sharkbait says, RE Lightning, F-35, EA Lightning, but don't forget the P-38. Good to see you, Wombat. Oh, FYI, I got zapped in an AS-350 helicopter.
Nice.
Wow. 66cc Rider, what's up, man?
Hey, thank you.
Here's something to say. Stay the same. Love your show and all your guests. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, 777 5-door, Big Jet TV. Hi, guys. Question. Watching F-15s, 22s, and 35s at Lake and Heath. Why do they wait sometimes 15, 20 minutes at the end of the runway pad before taking off? I get the F-15s checking stores, but why do they sit for so long? End of runway, they do the final checks. So they arm everything. They do the checks. They're probably waiting for airspace. They're probably all kind of stuff they got to wait for. They might be waiting for their wingman, too, to show up.
Yeah, but if they're flying live, that usually takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then you go to
depending
the
on
Kayla
where the
Lola.
Yeah, that could take a while. I don't know.
I'm thinking more just normal, because that was, that was at least 10 minutes where you sit there before takeoff. Yeah, arm, arm. All right, let me go opposite direction now. Spider says, Wombat and everybody, high motivation. Let's go.
Nice.
It'll come.
Ethor says, watch the episode with Casmo, Wombat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he would say such a thing.
I'm shocked.
Alex says, cool shirt mover, need one, and hi, Wombat and Gonky. Yes, see.
Hello, Alex.
From our
Good to see
website.
you.
They're available
What
in
is
many
it?
colors.
How is it any different? Just because green?
Yeah, looks good.
I got a new shirt. Mine was fading.
Okay. I was confused. I thought
Look, we've been doing this so long. It's established in 2023.
Sorry.
Robert says, Wombat.
Wombat.
You know what we don't have, though, which I like yours? We don't have the American flag on the shoulder.
Yeah, that's
We'll have to add that.
very important.
I don't know how we do
because
that,
I love our
but-
country. It's not hard.
Here we go with the soccer. Mach says, after yesterday, WC 26 finale and that flyover, all reporting is finally over. Looking forward to updating you all in 4 years again. Now what? We will cover the flyover, too, if we ever get there. JD is in here. Second responders are the best. Whenever you need a Band-Aid, you get to have a bunch of them delivered to you freshly washed and polished red trucks. When I got bit that time, that's what they gave me was a Band-Aid.
Good.
There you go.
Yes. And then I had to go to urgent care, get a tetanus shot.
Those are fun.
I don't think it was a tetanus shot. What'd I get? They gave me something.
Rabies shot.
They tested me. That was a dude that bit me.
Oh.
I had to fight him, and he bit me
You could have
between the
rabies.
body armor. Right here. Holly Movie Star says, JT offered number 3, Lieutenant Hubin, a spot on the Wet Boys. Well, see, pays more. Alex says, after I saw it, I did that flyby with my toy planes. Hell yeah. See?
So did my kid.
G. Walker says, citation to accompany the award for assisting with the lightning landing. I know
Yes.
those are words, but I don't know
Yes.
what those words mean.
Your NAM
award.
was the award for assisting with getting struck.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. Keep it that close, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Right next to Gonky's money. Keep it right behind it in order of precedence. Rapsage says, are y'all going to cover the rude pilot who tried to dodge ATC in Torrance? Also, hi, Wombat. Or as Doug says, Walmart. We were going to, but we did not. Darren thinks I'm 114 years old. Mover, have you ever flown the A1D Skyraider?
You heard Gulf of Tonkin, dude. It was a
Yeah.
joke. I'm sorry.
If
I
you
flew
flew
in
it
the
without
waters.
me, I'm going to be really mad. Because that's my favorite airplane.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's old.
Just saying.
User, how about having Max Afterburner on? With
Maybe.
or without pants? Boris says, Doug got the joke. Doug's the only one laughing. We need a Mover and Luna show. Yeah, we do. She's not here right now. She's busy. Stars 26 Cup year. Hey boys, starting FAA ATC Academy in Oak City tomorrow. Ever heard a meow from the other side of the mic? Stay tuned. Just kidding. Sounds like that's frowned upon. I have not.
Man, I have stories from the last time I was at that training center. Oof. That was a rough. That was a rough trip.
Seaplane, happy Boon Day. Breton Photography says, I have no experience knowledge with flying, but you guys keep me coming back with funny and insightful content. I'm a fan, Jen. Sure, truly the rare Canadian who likes Trump.
Oh,
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Nice. Julie says, Mover calling everyone a Nancy on X, making new friends. Well, I'm about to do that again. So we'll do it on YouTube too. Joe says, hi guys, and welcome back. Wombat. I missed live last week. Wanted to compliment Mover on 3 Hilo vids. Yep. Thank you. I love those. They don't do well, but Subi says, Mover, not sure if you heard, but your name is now Cletus according to a certain YouTuber. I would like Cletus's following.
And his money.
His helicopters and his PC-12
It's
and
cars.
his race cars
The
and
race
NASCAR
tracks.
support.
Wife has a
his
Porsche.
Fans, wife and kids. He's got a 01. Like, please. The only insult here is that I cannot be that. It's insulting to Cletus.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim says, do you honestly respect the Canadian Air Force or think they are behind the times?
I respect him, man. Every
course
time
I
I work
respect
with them, they're great.
100%.
Listen, as someone who flew a 1960-something T-38, I understand how much more difficult it is to fly older equipment than it is to fly the new latest and greatest. So to me,
Gotta be
they
better.
are way better.
They still fly the Legacy, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary. Yes.
All right. Hey, let's hope this works. Can't yell at
Is
Doug
this
anymore.
where we start
so
getting professional?
this is, or it goes the other way.
Godspeed.
Okay, cool.
All right. So I don't know.
Independently.
Oh, it blocks me. That's pretty professional. Continue.
Well, Doug will leave here in a minute, so it'll be fine once he see.
Yep, that fixed it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nailed it. You guys are, I mean,
You feel better, Wombat?
You're putting everybody on point that has a YouTube channel.
Can
for
I
aviation.
please
Continue.
begin with this?
Hit it.
So there was breakfast with the Blues, and a Blue Angel flyover caused quite the stir because it made some lawn chairs fly around. Here is one of many videos of such a flyover, and I will get your opinion. This was ABC. Wow.
It's awesome.
Okay, so that's one of them.
That guy liked it.
We have all the, is it the same one? There you go. A little closer.
Real nice.
There you go. And let's see here. We got another angle. Or share this tab instead. Because you know there's cameras at every angle.
Love it.
There's this one.
This is my favorite one.
This one's pretty good.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. He's surfing.
He is
Like
100%.
super slow-mo. Yes.
Remind me, Gonky, I have a question about Super Hornet right there.
Okay, hold on. We're going to continue.
No, I know. I'm not going to.
So then Sec War weighed in and said, you know, carry on, heroes, patriots. Flight debrief complete. No reprimands, no firings, no problem. That's the sound of freedom, says the acting Navy secretary. And then what's happening? Pensacola said, statement from the Blues about the flyover. Blue Angels is aware of social media footage showing a low-altitude pass by a team aircraft over Pensacola Beach earlier today. During an arrival maneuver, an aircraft flew lower than standard profiles, resulting in a disturbance on the beach that affected civilian chairs and umbrellas. Safety of our hometown community, spectators, and our pilots is our highest priority. Team leadership is reviewing the circumstances. Then there's this view right here from the pier.
That actually looks higher than one of the other views.
Yeah. Everybody's happy.
Freedom, gents.
And the peasants rejoiced.
Woo! Look at her, look at her!
There's that.
I could literally watch that all night.
Okay. Hide the kids for a little bit. We're going to listen to the and watch this. What the boss actually has to say about it.
Obviously, you guys have gotten a lot of attention from yesterday, including from Pete Hegseth, who says keep flying flyovers. So talk a little bit about that incident and then what you do afterwards, if anything.
Yeah. So, you know, every flight we do, whether it goes incredibly well or we don't have the best flight, we look at it and we debrief it every day. During yesterday's circle and arrival maneuvers, one of our pilots found himself over the beach line, over a crowd in an unsafe situation. The safety of our flight demonstration, the safety of the crowd that goes out there and watches it every day is the utmost of what we do. We work day in and day out and very hard from the start of our training to ensure safety is paramount for everything. So we'll have a heavy review of what happened yesterday to ensure that, one, we don't put ourselves in unsafe situations again, and two, that we learn from it. And that's the most important thing that we do from anything that happens out there, is that we learn from the things that go on and we make ourselves better every day.
Okay, and then Representative Michelle Salzman, and this is hard to read, but basically she had the opportunity to meet with the pilot, number 3. He didn't make excuses. He didn't try to shift blame. He simply talked about the miscalculated turn, something no pilot ever wants to experience, especially one who's dedicated his life to flying at the highest level of precision. More than anything, he talked about the weight he's been carrying since that moment. He shared that he was shaken by what happened and needed time to process it. You could see the disappointment on his face. This wasn't someone brushing off a mistake. It was someone who holds himself to an incredibly high standard, was deeply affected by falling short. The Blue Angels train relentlessly because they understand our responsibility that comes with representing our military and our nation. They're human beings operating extraordinary machines under extraordinary conditions. They still strive for perfection, but they're still human. What impressed me most wasn't the mistake. It was the humility, accountability, and professionalism with which he has responded. He often celebrates people for flawless performance, but characters revealed and things don't go to plan. So the outcome, he did not fly this show. as far as I know. From what I have seen, he did not participate this weekend. That was his last quote unquote performance. But there's no official announcement of anything other than he just didn't fly the air show this weekend. So I turn it over to my expert panel of naval aviators, starting with, I don't know, Wombat.
I like how you had to pause because you're like, where do we want to go with this? Do we want to go full
Which
guns
soapbox
blazing?
should we start
Or do we
with?
want to start with some
Do we want to
intelligent
warm it up
fact?
first? Anyway.
And then, so listen, the guy, first of all, the people that think this is reckless are idiots. I'll say it. The people that have been all over social media saying or alluding to the fact that the Blue Angels are flying around recklessly have never, ever watched anything about the Blue Angels. Like, there is not a maneuver that they do that is reckless. It is all practice to the nth degree. It is video recorded from the day they show up in El Centro. Like, I think the problem is so many people have watched the documentary but got distracted by the flight doc and didn't see all the other things going on in the Blue Angels, right? It's those guys. Mover, you made a Twitter post that I thought was fantastic about it. It was showing the former skipper in their brief where they chair fly, which I know you make fun of, and that's fine. But you're like, your comment was basically like, you think these nerds that brief this way aren't going to they're going to look at this and they're going to learn from it. And I hope that number 3 gets airborne, and I hope he can get this behind him. But I also understand the weight that the social media just burden of this is, because he never went out that day with the idea to become the most famous Blue Angel flyby since Franz did the one over the pier last year, which was epic as well. And there's pictures of that.
I think they did another one this year too.
So he didn't, that's not who, like, I don't know how to explain to people, because I've taught students who became Blue Angels. I've had friends that are Blue Angels. I have worked very closely with Blue Angels. I work now with Blue Angels. Like, they don't hire people that are reckless. Like, they don't hire people that, like, I would be automatically disqualified from the Blue Angels, not because of the flight suit size, but because of the fact that if you gave me that jet totally slicked out, there'd be a moment where I'm like, I bet I can make this look better. Like, that's ingrained in my body. And I've talked about that with flybys on Movers channel, where I said, when Nasty and I were talking during that interview and things like that, I liked pushing that envelope. They don't hire people. Like, the vetting process to become a Blue Angel is so ridiculously difficult. They look at all of this stuff. This guy's not reckless. He made a mistake. The mistake didn't kill anybody, didn't hurt anybody. And now I'm going to shift slightly to anybody that was on that beach that morning that complained. You, my friend, are below average intelligence. You knew what you were getting into. You knew why you were there. There was nobody on that beach that went to that air show hoping to see a 1,000-foot pass at 250 knots by a Blue Angel. Nobody. They love that stuff. Like Gonky, like you said, the community loves them. And the thing that pisses me off about this is you have a naval aviator out there that has served his country, worked his butt off to become a Blue Angel as a lieutenant, puts a massive amount of pressure on him, and then a bunch of Karens, or whatever the male version is, online, or some of these reporters that we have, whoever that idiot is from the news that was making a big deal out of this, have now put so much extra pressure on this guy that he doesn't deserve. He did the right thing. He made a little botch. The question I had for you, Gonky, was he squatted that jet, didn't he? At the end there. Like, when you see him come in, he's making the pass, the banana pass, if you will. He squats it. He realizes, now I'm not saying it's a last-ditch paddle pull thing, but like when the little bit of smoke or fuel vents out of it, that's him squatting the jet to try to minimize. Am I right?
Yeah, he's pulling.
In your opinion?
Yeah. No, he's
so,
realized
this is a guy, like, this is a guy that at God knows what airspeed he's going, right? Who has to conceptually know where all the other planes are, still is such a good aviator that right there he recognizes, whoops, I pushed it, and he's trying to minimize the damage he did. Like, so if you're on social media or you're a news reporter and you're just like, this is appalling, shut up. Shut up. Because you know what? I would much rather watch Blue Angels pilots do this than some Russian pilot do it, because we don't have a strong military that has tip of the spear warfighters that are willing to put it out there. If you don't like it, don't go sit on the beach for breakfast with the Blue Angels. That's what I have to say.
Gonky, what do you think, man?
A lot of good points. Couple things. One, but I don't think I've heard of anybody on the beach complaining. So most of the complaining I've heard from are from people who weren't even there.
Yeah.
First of all, yeah, you made a mistake. That wasn't part of the plan. You said it well. There is nothing that the Blues do off the cuff, because everything that they do in the show is pretty high risk as it is. Thunderbirds is the same way. You've got multi-plane, low level, high speed, high aspect, very dynamic environment. There's no room for cowboy stuff. Now, I have a little bit of experience doing air show stuff down low, and I can easily see how this stuff happens, because most of the time, almost all the time, the Blue Angel show just isn't one jet. It's like all of them, and it's a coordinate. It's coordinated, and what being coordinated means is you got to be at a certain place at a certain time, and if you're not, you screw up the show. So there's even as good as the Blue Angels are, they're always making small corrections, a little late, a little early. I'm going to cut the corner here, pull harder here to make this happen. And I can see how I think he was trying to fix being later early, and he was just glommed off on that and didn't realize where he was at those altitudes, at those speeds. You guys remember mission cross check time, 200 feet or lower. It's 1 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Which means 1 to 3 seconds before you hit the ground, depending on what's going on. And the thing is with the Super Hornet, so maybe most fighters are like this. When you roll up on a wing like that, you kind of, you have your barrel altimeter, but the rad out's out the lunch, right? So it's very easy to get, especially at low altitude, man. You drop, if you drop 20 feet and you're only at 100, right? It becomes an issue. So the first thing is this wasn't planned. He made a mistake. Did it look awesome? Yes. Awesome. When I first saw it, I thought, man, that's a flyover. But I also realized, I was like, he's probably going to get talked to about that, because again, I know the Blues professional team, that's how they operate. The thing that really gets me, and you touched on it, Wombat, a little bit, and it has to do with number 3. He's just a lieutenant. He's a JO. He's out doing the very best he can, and one of the more challenging assignments a fighter pilot can be in. And media has tried to politicize it. Okay, so for whatever reason, they're going to take jabs, and I'm not, politics aside, right? So they start to talk about, oh, this is horrible, whatever, and then SecWar comes on and says flybys will continue until morale improves, which, me being a former fighter pilot, I took it as leadership at the highest level has the back of the U.S. military. They don't have the back of the media, which is portraying the military as cowboys. Like we covered it last week, Mover. The Apache flyover was not off the cuff. It was well planned and well flown, in my opinion, and approved, right? So you've got leadership at the highest level backing the war fighter, and that's, to me, that's pretty awesome. And it doesn't mean war fighters do whatever you want, I'll free passes for all my friends. It means, if you make an honest mistake trying to do your very best for your country, I got your back. Now, what's happening is the way it should play out, right? So the boss, who is the boss of the Blues, the skipper, they're handling it as the Blues do, as any fighter pilot would. You come back from any flight, first thing, safeties, training rule violations.
Yep.
First 2 things, dude. And guess what? If you fess up and talk about it and debrief it, no harm, no foul. People are trying, it's Bud Holland. No, man. Number 3, the this is the first deviation like this from the Blues in a long time. And unfortunately, usually when there's a large deviation from the flight path, unfortunately, like, Jeff Koos was killed over 10 years ago now, right? So, and even in the Thunderbirds, right, when there's a large deviation from what the plan is, unfortunately, usually it's catastrophic, right? So to say that, number 3 is another Bud Holland, or, I know there's been other wild card types out there that have crashed airplanes and killed people, I think is ridiculous, because you also bring up a valid point. It is very, very hard to get on the team. And I'll say this, if you have 2 or 3 honest mistakes, you're gone. Well, it's just business. When I was a RAG IP, we had a great commander come through. He was going to be the skipper of the Blues. I flew with him a couple times. Fantastic pilot. I think he was a Top Gun guy, and he had a couple of low pulls, and they got rid of him. So they take it's like the current boss says, man, they take safety very seriously. Here in Pensacola area, man, the Blues, the Blue Angels are everywhere. It's like, the pride of the city. So, and I think they take that very seriously. But the thing that really makes me mad, like I said, is you got a young lieutenant out here that's trying to do the best for his country, living his dream. And you've got people angling for political jabs at, I don't care if you like Hegseth or Trump. I don't care. What makes me angry is you are singling out a great American who made an honest mistake, and clearly he's fessed up to it. Clearly the team is handling it.
Let the professionals handle the professionals.
Let them do that.
You get these people that spend, time on social media. No offense to what I'm about to say, but they've flown it on DCS, right? It's not the same.
No.
Okay. Like popping pimples in your mom's basement, screaming for meatloaf, and then complaining online about something you do not understand. And I'm not sitting here on this show telling you that I fully understand what it's like to be a Blue Angel, because I've never been one, but I've worked very closely with them. I've taught people that went on to do that job. I've worked with instructors that were that, and I know their level of professionalism. So let the professionals be the damn professionals. Knock off the political BS. The thing that is making people's panties get in a bunch right now is because there's actually senior leadership that are letting warfighters be warfighters, right? And this is as old as our time. I joked with my wife, I'm like, I really feel like I missed, and I bet both of you guys felt this way, whether you said it. I feel like I missed the window, because the era before us, right? The CAGs with the big mustaches and all that, like the fighter pilots of the 70s, right? And then we had our generation where we moved sand around Afghanistan and Iraq for 20 years for God knows what reason. And then now they're actually back to being warfighters and actually have top-down coverage. And I'm like, dang it. Like, that stinks, man. Like, I was so close. Like, I was bookended by these great leaders that, and the analogy I've heard goes with Navy SEALs, and I love it, is poor leadership. They want Navy SEALs to like go away in a cage during peacetime, right? But like if they really need them to do something nasty, they want to rattle that cage and have that rabid dog go out and not be afraid to fight. Well, guess what? Aviation's the same way. And it doesn't work like that. The type of person that has the personality that is willing to push the limit, willing to go where nobody else wants to go, willing to do things that people don't want to do, they're that personality all the time. You can't just put them in a box. And we finally have some leadership. Say what you will about the leadership, but you finally have some leadership that will go, you know what? They do it jokingly, which I think hurts their mission a little bit, right? The flyovers will continue until morale improves. I posted it. I thought it was hilarious. It's funny, but it's funny to us because we lived in a generation where there wasn't a leader on the planet that would post something like that, right? You would immediately be grounded. You'd probably lose your wings. They wouldn't even ask you what happened. I mean, Mover and I have gone through things in our career that we've talked about on very little levels that leaders now would laugh at and be like, what? Get flying, dude. We got work to do. And that is the situation we're in right now. The thing that really ticks me off about this, and people can say what they want, and I don't care about the boomer, grandpa, old fighter pilots. Oh, it was scary. I know. You wet your depends. I'm sorry. Like maybe you're a little jealous because you can't live that life anymore. I don't care what your problem is. Don't put it on this poor kid who's out there hanging it out there, working his butt off, right? To do this because he believes in this mission. He believes in the important role of recruitment in naval aviation and what the Blue Angels do for the next generation to be involved. Don't hang it on him. He made a mistake. Pilots make a million mistakes every flight. You go on airliners, I guarantee you the pilots make mistakes and you don't ever know about it. So calm down and just let the professionals be the professionals.
Yeah, and here's the thing: Sec War can say whatever the hell he wants, dude. Secretary of War, he can weigh in, he can say whatever he wants about it, but he's not stopping. He's not dictating what the Blues are doing. It is nice. It's just I've had it. There's been a couple times in my career where I've had strong leadership, and it is very freeing. You know that you can do your job to the best of your ability. You're not walking on eggshells, because I've been in those commands too, where you're literally walking on eggshells because you know if you screw up, even though you're trying your best, they're going to can you to make themselves look better. So, you know, like you said, he could, you know, sure.
People write books about him.
Yeah, exactly. So,
sorry, Mover.
No, dude, you know, now the trick is, of course, you have to maintain the professionalism that we do, because it can't be cowboy country, and it's not going to be. I haven't seen anything that suggests that. In fact, it's still quite the opposite. I would say the whole zero tolerance, which I think is nonsense. I mean, it's a great goal, but I've seen people's careers ruined over the whole zero tolerance mentality. But yeah, man, living here, you know, locals love it. We realized it wasn't planned, and it's just irritating that it has been politicized and there's a poor junior officer in the middle of it. Mover, what's your take, sir?
Oh, hey. Yeah, dude, it's not black and white. There's gray areas, nuance. I wanted to bring up, because Wombat talked about X. So I'd made a post when this first came out, and I will admit that I was wrong on one thing. I thought this was a sneak pass. I thought this was a planned sneak pass that got too close. I was wrong about that. But I made a post. A generation of bubble wrap kids raised by helicopter parents have now become adults who complain about everything. This is why we can't have nice things. And in subsequent thing,
I love that.
Sec War said the flyovers will continue till morale improves. Carry on, Patriots. One was talking about Blue Angels. We're all experts in their standards. No one faces punishment after airshow pilots do airshow things. So that was a newsworthy thing. And then I posted what Wombat was talking about the nerds doing their visualization routines, because I do think it's incredibly nerdy. I can't do it. So my take on this is very nuanced, in that two things can be true at one time, right? From a military perspective, the standards are the standards. And I personally, looking at it, it looks like a botched rejoin to me. It looks like, you know, whoever the other, I don't know who the other one was, but was flying down the coast. He's coming out high aspect. He's trying to make that turn to roll out line abreast, and he misjudged that turn and ended up over the crowd when he wanted to be over the water because he thought he had more lateral distance. That's what it looks like to me. The rule is, and I talked to Mace about this, is, you know, you can't have an energy vector towards the crowd, right? You can't fly over or within 500 feet. You got to be, 500 feet away from them. And that's because of a very bad airshow crash where people were killed as spectators. That's a very bad thing. Now, with that being said, the Air Boss talks about it was a dangerous situation. Do I agree with that? I think it's when you exceed the standards, you could easily classify that as a dangerous situation. Do I think anyone was actually in danger? No. And the reason I talked about the bubble wrap kids is because was there any risk to the crowd? No. Lawn chairs and tents and all that crap fly every day at the beach when it gets windy. Tie your stuff down. Like the hyperbole and the screaming at the sky, almost literally, that I've seen from this incident is insane. Because people are like, well, what about the kids and their hearing? And it's like, you're at an air show, man. Put earphones, like, why did you show up without, what did you think an air show was going to be? They're loud. Like all this, think of the children nonsense. we don't need all that. So there's that side of the coin, which I think that the national media, not the local media, I don't think anybody, Pensacola, any of the local stations had any problem with this. I think once ABC Actual picked it up, it became the terrifying. It was the terrifying flyover, and the media ran with it. Now, to your point, Gonky and Wombat, previous generations were run by lawyers, right? If the media is up in arms about something, we have to do something because we don't want the political hit points. We can't afford that. Somebody has to do something. And then you get what's called undue command influence because the top rolls in and says those people need to be punished. So it's the other end of the pendulum, as you talked about, whether offline or online, Gonky, about the pendulum swinging. In this case, a Blue Angel screwed up. And the standards are the standards, and the Blue Angel, most likely, I cannot imagine a scenario where they won't, which is why I talked about them doing the visualization exercises, because they are the most precise demo team on the planet, right? Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. They're professionals. They do this all the time. They make mistakes, but they debrief it to, I think one of them was talking about in an interview. If we fly for 1 hour, we debrief for 2. I think that might even be conservative. Yeah, especially for formation, right? We think of this as admin, but that's their whole mission in life. So their whole job is to put on a safe, fun, effective show. And when they deviate, they go out and look at it. The other piece to this too, and I get it, Gonky, I get it, Wombat. I agree. I love the top cover. I just would caution leadership to not publicly address every single thing. Because when you do that, you cut the legs out from underneath your subordinates. Because if you now are promoting the thing that now the boss cannot go back and say, hey, we probably need to take a look at this. We're going to sit a few days. Like, I think you get in the middle, like you're talking about, Gonky, of a political war. Because on one side, you've got the media that wants heads. And on the other side, you've got the administration that wants to say, hey, no, we're the war fighter. We're going to keep doing this. And instead, this all should have been, from every level, handled by the Blue Angel 06 with the 2-type flight suit. Like, the guy that said an unsafe situation, we're going to take a look at it, he is the man. That needs to be, and the people that look at it and decide what to do. I don't know why he didn't fly. I was a little surprised at that, because I thought that once SecWar weighed in, that this dude would be right back. I think it's a good thing that he didn't, because it showed that at the end of the day, the boss had control of his team and was able to allow his number 3 to not fly a show. I mean, think about it. How big of a deal is it for number 3 to be missing? I mean, that's not every air show that you see that. So I think it's just that it's a nuanced situation, and it's only politicized because we just did the America 250, and we're seeing a lot of public reaction to things that otherwise would not have been reacted. And we live in a bubble wrap society. Everybody is, well, what could happen? How about this danger and stuff? You go back to 1980s, I mean, we just accepted it. We accepted that life is dangerous and that we're going to see cool stuff, and that sometimes it's going to be dangerous. It's not going to work out. Do we want that? No. Do I want to be on this show and be talking about the Blue Angel that hit a crowd of people? Absolutely not. Am I glad that that's not what happened? Of course I am. Is that an awesome shot? Yes. But they debriefed it. It was a moment in time that was wrong. And I don't know what else there is to say. Like, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's been blown out of proportion for what amounts to a botched rejoin.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. I think he was glommed off on something else.
I think he was watching the other guy. I think he was staring at him going, okay, vector, vector, vector. Oh, crap. I missed the turn point. Yeah. Because this was the arrival. This wasn't like part of a show where this was the survey, the arrival as the circling arrival as they're showing up. So, yeah. Yeah. It's just irritating, man. It's been politicized the way it has been, but I mean, it's being handled as it should be. So, I mean, literally, if the Karens and the bubble wrapped nerds would have never said anything, nothing different as far as, I'm sure number 3 would still be sidelined.
because they're probably reviewing
Yes.
tapes, doing extra training.
100%.
What happened? Like it's it's frustrating to. For me, it sucks because it's in my backyard.
I don't think that this should have been something that was swept under the rug and pretended like nothing happened. I just think it should have been handled at, like, the news story should have been the boss saying, hey, we had a situation with the arrival. It exceeded our standards. We're going to take a look at it and determine what action's necessary. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't have been a terrifying. Like, it wasn't terrifying.
No,
Like,
dude.
terrifying?
It
What are you
wasn't
doing at an air show if it's terrifying? Really?
Well, and it's
Yeah.
not the first time. You can go online and see countless videos of the Blues doing the sneak pass, blowing up tents.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a first time that's ever happened. Like,
Dude,
come on.
Just
It's-
type in fighter jet low passes and see what Google. I mean, there's the Red Arrows doing it. There's like
Yeah,
all kinds
it's-
of foreign. It's
But I mean, the thing that annoyed me the most was the fact that people had to voice that these are just reckless pilots. Like,
Well,
dude,
and
these
that's a
could
good,
not be
that's
further from the truth.
That's a good point. That was the other thing too, and I forgot to touch on that because I talked to someone who actually is a reporter, and they were like, "That was reckless." I'm like, "Why was it reckless?" Well, because they intentionally flew. I'm like, "I don't think they did. I think that was part of their show, and they just exceeded the parameter." Oh, really? I didn't know that. And it's like so many people have such strong opinions without having the content, like everything else in this world.
solid
But-
report.
Right. But that's what it is. It's like I was terrified. The news gives you the headline, which gives you the reaction. And then when you watch the video, all it does is solidify the headline and the reaction. It's all emotion. It's no logic. Like, were you ever really in danger? Well, I could have died. Could you though? Did anybody actually
Your
on the beach, like,
studio. not
they
your-
interviewed one kid that got hit with a lawn chair. He had a bruise. He's like, "This is awesome." You know,
It's my
that was
Blue
future
Angel
naval
bruise.
aviator.
yeah.
Number
Future-
3.
Like,
Yeah,
that's right.
He wants his
Dude,
arm signed.
If you're
Like,
coddling your kid at this point, like, "Oh, we can't get a bruise," it's like, dude, life is hard, man.
life's gonna kick your ass.
This is the weak men create hard times moment.
Yeah,
Like, we are
100%, dude,
so
100%.
weak as a society.
Yeah.
Like, we can hold people accountable, but we can also be tough. We don't have to just be like, "Well, I could have gotten hurt and someone could have," like, shut up, man.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
I will say, if on the off chance that number 3 actually hears this segment, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does, only because my guess is, based on his statements, he's somebody that is processing this a lot and reviewing
That's true.
everything there is.
Mover and Gonky shows the
about
first
it.
place you should go for a valid debrief at any time.
But if he's listening to this, I will say flat out, it makes me proud to be a naval aviator that we have men and women like him
Yeah.
that can make a mistake, can own up to the mistake, right? And to come back and do the job. That makes me proud. That shows me the next generation still has it, still has whatever that is inside.
He's a professional.
that He's a professional. And I am so proud of that. I apologize to him that the world we live in has put so much extra light on this when it doesn't need to be.
Well,
But I'm proud of who he is, and I look forward to seeing him again.
he was upset. He took himself off, or however they figured it out.
Sure.
They had the freedom to make the choice within the team, and that's what's important. Whether he took himself off the schedule, the boss took himself off the schedule, they mutually decided to take himself off. Like, dude,
Sure.
if you're not in the right headspace to do what they're doing, don't do it.
You don't need to be. Yeah.
Like,
no.
perfect decision.
Yep.
But we either trust them to make the right decision when they make mistakes, or we don't. And if we don't, we don't need to have demo teams. Sorry.
Yep.
Like, you can't operate
You
without
can't have
trust.
both. Can't have both.
Yeah.
So
All right, that's the horse, and it's dead.
nice.
Now we get to see how Gonky runs a topic. I cannot wait.
Nice.
Hold on, we got
My
comments while
social
Gonky
media.
prepares. Old Navy guy says, bottom line up front, he didn't do it on purpose. I hope all the complainers realize that he made a mistake and demonstrated the integrity he was hired for. Fly Navy. Exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
Bruce says, oh my God, my lawn chair flew over. What beach do y'all go to that doesn't have wind? Like,
Not Pensacola, that's for
I
sure.
was at my pool and the umbrella flew over. Like, oh my God, who was like, no, it's called wind.
Yeah.
Stuff blows
Wind
over.
is scary. Wind in 2026 is scary mover. Comes out of
Bruce says Karens and bubble wrap nerds. Yeah.
That's a shirt.
Six stringer guy says they could have interrupted a perfectly good football training exercise. The bigger story is, did you hear how the people left the beach? I heard
accidents.
it was trashed.
Yeah. Well,
really?
yeah. There was
Probably
people,
out-of-towners.
there was all kinds of accidents too, man. Like I
Yeah.
had friends that were like at a standstill for like 3 hours.
Dude,
BJ.
Oh,
professionalism.
That ain't
DJ says I agree with Mover on the Blue Angels 100%. Perfect. Oh, here he comes.
Well,
Bring up.
I don't know what happened.
This is
here.
amazing.
StreamYard decided to lose me.
That's what you get for. That's what you.
17 tabs. Well, I'm not running a topic right now, sir. I was trying to do.
I completed this one for you, sir.
Did you? Okay, good. Can you want to do them all now?
No,
I'm
I
scared.
did. Dude, you ran away.
I just StreamYard said get out of here. Jay Walker says it's probably the Communist Chinese Party. We need to piss them off too. Our country now is too polarized. We can't have a conversation about anything with the conversation participants injecting their politics. The respect for each other and their opinions are long gone. And it's too bad. I got a private message on X from that post saying, I hope they run into you at the beach. Like wishing.
Which is weird because
upon me.
they didn't run into anybody at the beach.
Yeah.
So
well,
why did he go there?
Well, because you know what these people do is they, you know, the slippery slope argument, right? It's well, they were inches away, and now it's the next biggest disaster in history. Like, there's
sensationalism, man. What could
well,
have
but
happened?
then they're like, I hope it happens to you, and it's like, dude, all I said.
Really? Yeah.
I'd like to see a flyby that low legally.
Well, not into me.
Well, yeah.
I don't go to air shows because they're boring.
Yeah, I know. I don't either.
They're
People are like,
boring and
"Oh, the boys."
noisy.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. I did it. That's it. Don't need to watch it again. Alex says I will watch the documentary with the flight doc though.
That's a different.
I've seen these guys
that's a different
last month,
purpose.
and they make me want to fly fighters just like y'all. They will handle it and still make me want to fly. Hell yeah, Alec.
There you go.
Kevin Morgan says recruiting will benefit from this for the next 20 years, especially a little kid holding the flag as he cuts the frame. Wasn't that the Apache?
Yeah,
Which
dude,
the Apache wasn't even a violation of anything. It's just people complaining.
Mover, I'm sure there were dozens of kids on that beach with American flags and Blue Angel planes and all that, man.
No, yeah.
I mean, this is their weekend.
Michael says, don't pin this on my generation. We're not the ones complaining. Pensacola is a town for grouchy retirees, not young people. This was not a Pensacola thing. This was the national
Pensacola
media.
is a great, Pensacola's a great community. I love going down there.
Spider says, I wonder what the Mace takes on this. Well, we'll ask her next month when she returns. Stever says, how can you complain about your military bringing a little air show to a public beach so you don't have to deal with shuttles and long lines at base? They're not complaining about the air show. They're complaining about the going too low at the air show. Ellie says, for the nuance. Thanks, Ellie. Appreciate you. Nice horse. Baghdaddy Mike says, former ground pounder here. He was off by 50 to 75 meters. I'd want that guy watching over me downrange.
Yeah.
I don't speak metrics, so I don't know if that's a lot or a little. Dit says, on my earlier flight from Curacao to Miami today, the pilot mentioned things didn't line up right, so they were doing a go-around. NC thought in my head, hey, go-arounds are free. No, they're for quitters.
Quitters.
And free.
Also, and free.
Wing Flex Aviation says, glad to see Wombat back, and congrats on Never Down, Never Out. It was great to see the Pensacola community rally around 3 and happy 80th anniversary of the Blues. Hell yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Stars 26 Cup Beer says, Wombat, can I get a brief synopsis of what happened to you at the training facility in Oklahoma City? That seems to hit a
great
nerve.
training. Everything about it was great. I loved it. Everything was awesome.
Oklahoma City.
FAA. I had to go there for UPRT training.
Oh, okay. BJ Turon says, no issue with the Navy, but don't need Hegza sticking his partisan nose into this. Let the USN handle it. We need to DOD, go back to the Navy and War Departments. They won World War II with less overhead. Isn't that what they were doing? Yeah, a whole bunch of positions went away.
That's true.
And then Dogie went away too. So good job. Plexi says, I promise no one who flies DCS is being a Karen. I wanted to mention that because I was going to correct you. It's not a DCS problem. This is, I'm not even, never mind. Hey, Tom. Saw the Thunderbirds last weekend. Their solo did an amazing low pass over the crowd. My son hasn't stopped talking about it and now talks with his hands as if they're planes.
Perfect.
That starts.
Great.
Perfect. Get him some markers and a whiteboard.
She's the one.
Sharkbait says, what got me was the media bringing up every air show incident since the Wright brothers. Yeah, one idiot's like, it's Bud Holland. And it's like,
No.
a
Is that the dude
B-52?
Okay, so that did bug me. I didn't realize that was the name of that guy. That showed ultimate level of ignorance because the people that know, because we all were trained on that, right?
yeah, we
I know
studied
I
it.
was. We
Yeah.
studied it, and the command culture and that. And you're going to compare it to number 3? Like, get the F out of here, dude.
Well,
I'm sorry.
and
I have zero tolerance for that. Like, that's
People
ridiculous.
We're also saying normalization of deviance. So in order for normalization of deviance to occur, you need pilot intentional noncompliance.
Yeah,
It's not
Which is
normalized
what happened.
deviance if it's not intentional noncompliance. This was not, because if the process had run its course, they would have debriefed it, and
What
the
happened
outcome
would
would have
happen.
been the outcome. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so people just Google big words to sound smart, and it's like, dude,
They're educated, Wombat. Don't hold it against them.
they hold it against them.
Yeah.
I know.
But seriously, before we go on to the next topic, in summary, that was a hell of a flyby, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I loved it. I can't.
It
Dude,
was the
listen,
best.
the little
It was
kid
the
in me,
best.
I want to join the Navy.
Well, we got more comments. Aaron says, great PR moment. I knew he's out of position. Sometimes this stuff works out for the best. I actually, depend on the angle you look at it, whether how far out he actually was.
That's right.
Yeah, it's I
Renee
didn't
says,
think
I
it
hope he
was
can
a
come back
risk.
from this. Doesn't second guess himself.
Well, he'll be all right.
He's professional.
Tic Tac's got my back says, if people really want something to be upset about, I'll join the flyovers with the Tic Tac. Lance says, this is the Blue Angels, not a growler demo. Valid. Boris says, it was cool, but unsafe, low pass. Once upon a time, there was a pilot in Ukraine who was doing something similar on air shows. Nobody stopped him in 2002, and he crashed, killing 77 people. It's not relevant.
Apples to oranges.
Well,
Not
that's-
even a
that's
little bit
the-
relevant.
Yeah, that guy had a pattern of doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's not
know,
the same.
no.
Jay Walker says, I mentioned this last week. SecWar commenting and getting involved in a squadron level issue is not the norm. As retired Air Force E8, this is bad for young troops. My thoughts are not political, just believe in the chain.
I believe in the chain too, but here's the problem: is it's the media has created this frenzy, and now they're looking, from the Apache thing now to this, like everything is the next clickbait to them, and it's like at some point he does have to step in and be like, "Hey,
The attack
Like-
is against him.
exactly."
But
The
anyway,
attack-
Bruce says, if you don't like low passes, don't go to the show.
Exactly.
Tom says, was higher than last year's Peer Pass. But
That
the Peer Pass
is
is a special
awesome.
thing because
It is, but it's still awesome.
Corvette World Rob says, how can one complain about this? Wish I was there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Renee also says he's just a bit below the hard deck.
Which we all learned from that documentary is fine.
3 Green says, wasn't long ago we spoke about financials around cars, aviation, and women. A mover needs to be a preacher of the super church, preaching the gospels of the sky gods. Now getting some turbine time in the R66. There you go. Brent says, comment for Wombat. I don't know, but it's been said Air Force wings are made of lead. I don't know, but I've been told Navy wings are made of gold. Subi says, we can't have civil conversation about anything anymore. Keyboard warriors jump on and call everyone stupid. This situation was one of them. All right, Gonky, you got the lead left.
And the second topic for tonight, Mover.
Oh, how we're doing so
Sorry,
far.
guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is perfect.
Sorry.
All right. Well, Anduril YFQ-44 fires live air-to-air missile and landmark CCA test. So this is the collaborative combat aircraft. We have a sweet video here. Let's make this. Oops. Play. Here we go. Of course.
Which ironically is the problem with unmanned aircraft.
Yeah.
Would have
Imagine
fired
if-
way earlier, but it was buffering.
Imagine if you're like, shoot, box 3, damn it.
Don't hit all the buttons.
Oh, hold on.
This
Dude, I'm
couldn't
so-
be better.
This is-
I
this is
really
the gra-
just, on a side note, thank you for having me on your first professional podcast.
Perfect, Gonky. You did a great job with that.
what we just watched was
Imagine
frame
something
by frame
unmanned
breakdown.
firing a missile.
the F-44 just fired an air round. But you know what? That brings a really, now I'm actually concerned because I'm actually in support of the CCA thing up until about about 20 seconds ago. To be honest, dude, I don't know. Here, let me play
No,
it
they
again. It
have
may be
better
buffered.
processing power than
Yeah, right. Here we go. Look, here it is. Watch 3. Aha!
that thing looks like an undead viper.
Dude, I still think it looks like a saber, man. Like the back of it's got that
It looks
weird.
like a viper that just
Yeah. Anyways, the article says this live fire test is an important next step in the development of CCAs. The CCAs are meant to be semi-autonomous, meaning they'll fly alongside crewed aircraft and execute tasks based on basic directions from a human aviator. And the article kind of beats on that fact that the human decision-making will be completely removed. The Air Force eventually wants a fleet of 1,000 of these things to add mass to its combat fleet at a cheaper price point than manned platforms. Air Force officials said they want CCAs to perform strike, reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and communication missions, or even act as decoys to confuse enemy forces. So firing weapons from any unmanned aircraft is a huge milestone. That's something General Atomics pioneered, and we're known for. So we know what it means for everyone involved. Our team remains on a schedule to fire the initial bay of the YFQ-44A later this year, and everyone's looking forward to showing more of what our aircraft can bring to the fight. So with the theater being China and the South Pacific, they're hoping that if they add 1,000 these CCAs to our F-35s, F-22s, even 4th gen stuff, that it'll help with basically our ability to project power out there in the South China Sea. The Air Force said live fire tests are the latest developments in a deliberate phase test progression that began with inert carriage evaluations earlier this year. So usually when they're testing new weapons on aircraft, first it's just simply bolting them on, right? Seeing how they fit, flying around with them as they expand the envelope. The Air Force stressed that humans will retain oversight of CCAs and the drones will not autonomously use their weapons without a human's command. The decision to release any weapon system remains exclusively with a human operator who maintains command and control of the platform at all times, the Air Force statement said. So that's the key there. I think, I don't know if eventually, the dream is to have, hey, like an airman, launch and leave it, right? Just go out there, take care of this single group. But for now, man, it looks like the plan is, get them into some sort of firing envelope, and you still get the choice as far as if you're gonna launch or not. What do you guys think? Wombat, what do you think of CCAs, man?
It's just one step closer to Skynet. Like, dude, Arnold taught us about this. Like, it's cool. It's cool. I think what's cool about this in particular, correct me if I'm wrong, but just the timeline it's been done on is impressive compared to the normal.
Anduril not being really a defense contractor, turning into a defense contractor that's doing everything now.
Yeah, so I think that's actually kind of neat to see. And I mean, look, technology's cool, right? Like Doug's got a Tesla, apparently. So, I mean, it's neat. I don't love it at my core because I'm a pilot, right? So like, you know what I mean? It's like, take any profession out there, like a cashier at a grocery store doesn't love the self-checkout because it's taking their job away, right? So I'm never going to be like, wow, this is amazing. But I think it's cool the timeline they're doing it on. I think it's very interesting technology. I think it's the jaded old guy in me, just the Air Force didn't have to be quoted 4 times saying that the final call was going to be made by a human, because now it sounds like they're trying to cover it up. They're like, no, it's still going to be a human. I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying.
They're addressing it because it is a concern, right? Like you take the man out of the loop.
Oh, no, I agree. But it's like, then address it and move on. You don't need to address it 6 times because, it sounds like you're actually trying to cover it up a little. That was just from that article. That's just an article though. But like, I think it's interesting. Like it's cool technology, but.
Yeah. The Air Force is, I mean, they've put money for both. So it's the F-44 and the F-42. So the F-42 is General Atomics. And then Anduril is the F-44, which they shot the AMRAAM off of. I mean, I think you're right, Wombat. They want to emphasize the fact that no, Skynet can't happen. I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of questions, right? I mean, on its at face value, it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
If I can send my loyal wingman down range and I can go cold and I can preserve range, and whether it's shooting while it's soaking up missiles or it's doing whatever tech that it has, I'm preserving myself for follow-on engagements.
Sure.
The question I have is, how susceptible is it to what our adversaries can do with jamming, data links? If I can't talk to it, does it have a level of autonomy? If it's a denied environment, is it have the ability to go out and prosecute, or does it become just a very big decoy at that point? What happened? How do I get its missiles in that case? Because that's what I think about as a flight lead, right? When you're a 4-ship flight lead doing defensive counter air, your whole job is missile management for your entire flight, which, in the F-16, that can be 16 missiles. It could be more than that, depending on what your configuration is. But so if I'm a flight lead with a mixed 4-ship, 8-ship, or whatever of real and that, how do I target those missiles within my flight? And so I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about, or we can talk about it now. One of the other articles was about integration at red flag. I think that's where you're going to start to see some of the lessons learned happen as you start integrating these things into large force employment exercises. As the weapons school gets a hold of it, we talked about it when it was at the Philippines. A lot of the tactics that are going to be created out of this, it's going to be, some of it's trial and error, because you can simulate all day long, but until you actually go put jets up in the air, you really don't know how it's going to work when things are going wrong. Because sims, it's always 2992, beautiful day, but sometimes, what happens when the environmentals are bad? What happens when, there's a big thunderstorm right in the middle of the airspace that you're having to work around? There's stranger traffic. What is all the considerations that we don't necessarily think about in the sim, because we're just doing the basic blocking and tackling, and now we go into a large force engagement where there's problems, comms out, GCI's out, somebody's radar's not working, somebody's data link not on the net. How do we keep it from shooting ourselves, and how do we maintain a handle on it? And my other question, just logistically, where does it go? Does it land at the same runway and take off as I do? So now when I come back, I'm in a train of, it's already a pain in the ass to get back with a gaggle of fighters that are low on fuel. And now I've got to deal with the drone. Like, it's a big airplane. That's not just a, hey, we're going to recover it on the drone runway. That thing probably is a substantial, it looks like it's got F-16 gear. So, what's the infrastructure look like to have that thing downrange?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think those, and then the degraded environment's huge. That's the biggest X factor.
And I'm sure they have thought about, this is just me asking questions. I am sure that nobody's watching this going, we probably should have. I'm asking it in the general sense of, hey, I would
This doesn't need to be like that scene in Armageddon where they're like, you're NASA. Like, you have people picking this stuff up. Like, they're not coming to the Mover and Gonky show for those ideas. For sure.
I am by no means saying that I have figured this out. I am just asking questions because these are all considerations. That's all. And the smart people will do whatever they do with their 20-pound brains. All right. Anything else on that?
No. I like it.
Let's see. Baghdaddy Mike says, ran into Palmer Luckey the other day. 1, he's a true American. 2, it's about knocking down the numbers so human pilots have more of an even fight.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's bullet sponges.
User says, question for whoever's retired out of U3. Do you think we should attack the dams and other infrastructure in Iran, or focus on military targets only?
Thanks for the $5.
That's just you, Wombat.
None of us are going to answer it. That's ridiculous.
I think you need to do whatever it takes to end the conflict quickly.
Yeah.
And achieve your objectives.
And none of us are in a position to make that statement. So.
I don't have the deep intel on
I don't know what's going
what
on.
it will take to end the war.
Mm-mm.
I will reiterate my stance that I think we should end all wars and try to use peace through strength. But if you can't, decisively
and more
win.
flybys.
That's it.
And more flybys.
Zig says, Mover's favorite second responder. See, someone with a sense of humor. Sometimes they have those. Late to the show as we tend to be, probably with staging, waiting for the scene to be safe. I'll have to watch the replay.
Looks like an S3 guy too, so that's why he's chill.
Yeah.
Picture there.
Yeah, on that Facebook post, I had a Prowler guy say that, well, I've been struck by lightning and we landed and made an article in Approach magazine. You guys are just overreacting. It's like, sir, first of all, nerd. Second, I don't like, what do you want me to do? I can't tell the guy, hey, no, you're fine. Stop.
Be less electrocuted.
What do you want me to do? The story is the story. And if you're saying I shouldn't have gone to the hospital, I agree. I wanted to go home. New Orleans traffic on a Friday sucks. I didn't get home till like 8 o'clock that night. My dogs thought I died.
Also, let's address the elephant in the room on the comparison there. Like, that guy got struck by lightning in a Grumman aircraft.
Right.
I mean, that's a flying tank. That's a little different than an A model Hornet.
There's also like 8 people in there to disperse the electricity.
Yeah. And all their glasses. That's got to do something, right?
Yeah. Zig says,
I like when Movers or when Gonky's reading the comments because he doesn't laugh at Wizzo or ECMO jokes because he's so concentrated. I can tell what he's doing.
One word at a time, though.
I like Wizzos. Wombat.
Welcome
also,
back.
Are we going to spend the night here? You guys got to let me get through this so we can get to the next topic. As a former avionics guy, we truly appreciate the love you all throw to the maintainers. Welcome back, Mr. Bat. We do love our maintainers. Nobody flies without maintainers. Yeah. Cozy says, what happens if the controller manned aircraft is shot down? Just kind of flies off.
I'm sure there's a there's a default flight lead or a backup flight lead. Right. 3, you got it. Huh?
It does what any good wingman does. It goes home.
Processing.
Yeah.
Crazy Pete says drones have been causing runway traffic jams since the early aughts. That's just one of the things that sucked at Balad.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't have any problems with that at Balad. At least I didn't. I was an F-16 guy. Jonathan says, read an article that mentioned T7 replacing T-38 and T-6 both down the road as a non-pilot. Is there a need for a T-6 type plane versus Cessnas? Yes. Totally different speeds. It's not even in the Cessnas are terrible for military flying. Like this whole thing about sending people to civilian schools and getting ratings before, like, no, man, you need the jet fuel. You can't just.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah, it's
faster. The ejection seat, putting all that gear on for the first time.
Throwing up all over the plate. Wait, was that just me?
Todd's model says, I want to see if CH-53 do a quick stop on the beach. Semperfly.
Yeah.
Full Afterburner USA says, if you don't like low passes, you must listen to Steve. Only logical explanation. Which Steve?
Captain?
How many E's? Anyways, go on.
So many.
No, I didn't say I'm better than you unless you're talking about the Prowler guy. I wasn't saying that to Crazy Pete. I'm just saying we're superpower coming through. They gave us what we wanted. I don't think they flew at the same time as we did. Well, we flew all the time. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So in the news, check this out. I love it.
Nailed it.
Air Force PA is working with
it. It started out bad and it got worse from there. Yeah. So the Daily Voice in Rutherford, New Jersey says and hypes it up. I don't know if you guys know. I didn't know until somebody told me on Sunday. Apparently there was a soccer match on Sunday that a lot of people were happy about. Well, anyway, this happened at MetLife Stadium at Teterboro. Anyone near MetLife or Teterboro on Sunday may hear or see military aircraft because they have to put that in the news so that the bubble wrap people don't get upset.
It's scary, Mover.
It's scary. Why are there jets?
It's so loud. Are we getting invaded?
Cecilia lets us know that 4 F-16 fighter jets will perform a flyover at MetLife Stadium before the kickoff of the World Cup. Is it a kickoff or a tip-off?
I don't know.
Dude.
I
I
thought
don't know
only
much about the match.
There's a lot of holes in this
Ask
article, Mover.
Mooch.
Let's focus on the ones that we're experts
Anyway,
in.
they may briefly notice the low-flying aircraft as they head to and fro. You should subscribe for more information. Well, there was a flyover. And, well, we have that right here. And I don't know what else to tell you, but good luck. This is at the end. So you'll hear the word brave, which is when you expect to see a fighter. And then she's dragging it out, too.
Yes, she is. Good singer. Good singer. She's
The
trying.
lungs
for
can
it.
only do so much.
Wait for it.
Wow.
Wait for it.
It's so good.
Wait for it.
They're still
They're booing now. Wait for it.
Where are the planes? Hello.
Keep waiting for it. They're singing now. It's a new national anthem. Keep waiting for it.
Oh, there they are.
There's the jets.
Oh my gosh.
There's the 4-ship of Vipers. As advertised, flying over the back bleachers and the parking lot.
Dude.
Wait. I'm really mad. I'm really mad.
Can I tell you something that you're going to laugh about?
Questions
before you
on the
get into
brief. Go ahead,
Questions on
Wombat.
the brief.
My day started with seeing that Instagram post. That was the first thing I saw when I opened my phone today. And I was like, nah, it can't be. And I look at the comments, and there are people in that post quoting this show. It was hilarious. Like we're
Really?
talking like I haven't even had my coffee yet. And that Instagram post, it's like on the Mover and Gonky show, there's 2 experts that talk about flyovers, so they're gonna have a field day on this one. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
Well, here we are.
Dude,
So,
we pigeonholed ourselves, Mover.
I don't think I've ever seen a worse one. This reminds
This
me
is
of
bad.
the president was in attendance, by the way.
so I did some research on this one, actually. I actually prepared for this one.
Hit it.
So there's
What is
things
it?
I've learned that may not make it 100% the pilot's fault. Because apparently, from what I learned, multiple sources, FIFA did not clear him out of holding. And I think that had something to do with the president being in position. So there was some. Now, again, you guys can talk more because you've done more of these flyovers. The most experience I have was our high school one, Gonky, that, by the way, we nailed. I mean,
We
it was
did.
awesome.
Yes.
But they, from what I read and have heard from multiple sources, is they were holding, as you often do, right? Especially in that airspace, congested airspace. And there was communication between the dude in the stadium who's like, okay, you got to let us know when to clear them out of the stack to get them coming, and then I can fine tune that time. And apparently FIFA did not give that clearance, and they may have been concerned because the president wasn't in his seat and all of these things. So I truly, as much as I would love to rip on some F-16, and they're guard guys too, I'm pretty sure. Like, so they're pretty
Atlantic
chill
City.
dudes. Dude, it's hard to be that bad on your own. It's hard to be that bad. So now, from the glimpse I saw as they went over now maybe that woman's had a really bad seats. I don't know. But from the glimpse I saw, the formation itself looked decent.
Over the parking lot, yes.
Listen. Much like an earlier topic,
Maybe
you
they
break
were
a
told
training
not
rule
to fly
violation.
over Trump. They had to offset because
Well, and
of
there's
the president.
things. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't think it was as cut and dry, is what I'm going to say. But I did find it funny that my day started.
Just hang a left and go home.
I like how there's a Super Hornet picture. It's like F-16s royally screw up flyover. Super Hornet. It's like, so now it's like, oh yeah, I saw that jet in that documentary Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one
Super
at
Hornet.
the beach.
Yeah,
that's
they play volleyball and they can't even do a good flyover.
That's the one
Great.
that blew over my lawn chair at Pensacola.
It was blue though, but yeah, I mean, same jet.
It's my bruise right here.
Had a
number
3 on it, like Dale
Three,
Earnhardt.
number 3. It's a tattoo.
Yeah, I love the idea of blaming Europeans. Actually,
Yeah.
probably had something to do with the metric system.
It probably did
as well.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably don't even understand what a flyover is.
Like, I don't, that is a question though. At what point do you just go, you know what?
It's not our day.
This is just
abort.
Y'all don't get a flyby. This is sorry.
Yeah.
They are singing a whole new song by the time they fly over.
Yeah. Yeah. That was.
I mean, for sure, there was no ground support, man.
No, I think there was.
Saying there
no,
was.
I think there was. I read there was. The coordination breakdown was from what I heard. Again, don't quote me because I'm never going to look at this again because frankly, I don't care. But from what I read is that FIFA had to tell that person, okay, clear him out. And let him go.
Okay.
And that was where the communication broke-down was.
Gray says, I watch the Mover and Gonky show every Monday. 2 fighter pilots who know their flyovers. They're going to have a field day with this one. By all means, feel free to elaborate on why they were almost 5 minutes late.
But there's people that actually do elaborate on why.
We love you.
It's interesting.
No, we love it. I don't care.
Dude.
So,
I find
it happens. It happens. This is the kind of stuff that happens.
It does happen, but there's always a reason. And the reason is like I could make the same mistake given in the same scenario. Like we sit here and bag on flyovers.
Tempt fate. All we're doing with these segments is hoping that one will be like, oh, you think you're better? Here's your jet. And we'll be like, haha.
Yeah,
we got you.
We'll do a horrible one.
Sec War will put out a post. Mover and Gonky will do the next flyover, and then that'll be sucking seat cushion, dude.
Doesn't matter because we're flying jets again. You see, it doesn't.
True. That's right.
Like it doesn't.
It's instant.
Like whatever, man.
We win
content because when you botch up your flyover, you'll be able to talk about it.
Oh, my lobster's too buttery. Like who cares? You're in a jet.
Like that's true.
Like what?
Yeah.
At least they're flying.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, you show up whenever you want. Show up after. Who cares?
Yeah.
But the Sec War did say flyovers will continue until morale improves.
Here we go.
So my morale is improved. Gabby Gons is not too happy about it, but
it puts a smile on my face, man.
Yeah,
I just feel bad for those pilots.
If you're gonna be that late, perhaps you fly over the stadium though. That's that part I don't really.
Again, was the old stadium next to the new stadium? Maybe
that does happen. That has happened before.
I know.
Yeah.
I think they told, "Hey, POTUS is here. Don't fly over POTUS's head."
Yeah, probably
because we don't want to knock over his lawn chair.
Yeah,
he'd be. To knock his hair off or something. I don't know.
See, I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Because they knew, I mean, for sure, they knew he was for security reasons. They knew he was going to be there. Like,
well, also it's an F-16. Who's going to chase him? They're the ones that like. It's like fights on, dude. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And if somebody did chase him, they apparently would be very late. So it's not a problem.
It's like some poor captain. It's like you are tasked with providing airspace security, and since you're there, you're going to do the flyby too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like, wait, what,
gosh, dude?
Yeah,
the double whammy.
Yeah, you're probably right.
What stadium? You got the coordinates? No, they were off a little bit. Just fly over the diamond.
Yeah.
We got them off of Google Maps.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Confirm you don't know where the president is, even though you're defending his airspace. Copy.
What stadium? There's a stadium in New Jersey?
Oh, dude.
Great.
Okay. Poor guys.
Yeah.
Formation looked good from what I saw, though.
Hell yeah. Like all 4 seconds of them from the parking lot looked amazing.
Listen, at least they nailed that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Cozy says, at the same time, an F-16 was intercepting an ad tug plane over the Jersey Shore. Sure. Well, there you go. There blows that theory, Gonky. Spooty says the F-35 flyover for Bosnia versus the United States was amazing. I have no idea how they messed this one up so bad, especially with 1 billion people watching. Wasn't it like Spain versus Argentina or something?
Yeah.
Why are they even playing the American national anthem?
This is bad.
I mean, why not? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great song, but I'm just asking, practically speaking.
'Cause they were
Ellie
renting
says, "Oh no, I
their
lost my hearing to the sound of freedom." See, love it, love it. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Jay Walker says, "If you're that late, can you just wave off and not continue, or is there a commitment factor? Who makes that call?"
That's
I'd be
where as
tempted.
a flight lead, you have an issue with your jet and you abort the run. You're like,
Stick
"Oh,
actuator.
Either
I had
that,
a deal
dude,
people here, guys. Let's turn left 90 and
or it's
troubleshoot."
like gate and we're going supersonic. We're going to get there and no one's going to be able to hear anything after that.
Make
all the
make
windows.
blowing out windows.
Yeah.
Make the last flyby your last flyby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Loud and proud, baby.
I was 4 minutes and 30 seconds late instead of 5 minutes late. Maj says, by the way, flybys at a few other matches, that's what they're called, is matches, not games. Most were pretty good and on time, not this time, and no way FIFA is controlling ATC. No, he's
That's not
not
what they
saying
did,
FIFA. It's not an ATC thing. It was basically the event coordinator, right, is what you're saying, which happens to be FIFA, just like NASCAR when we did the NASCAR flyover. I mean, it makes sense. I love your explanation, and I hope that's it. Turd Ferguson says, as late as they were, they should have done a 180 and gave everybody a second flyby.
We're going
Mach says,
min burner.
Mach says, so do you think that Pete Hegseth, since he's been very supportive flyby and aviator, will call their CO and ask what the hell? What took skill to be so late? No. Anthony says, did you guys see the F-16s intercepted the banner plane, 2 other planes during the FIFA match, flares and all? How did the news not catch that?
I saw it.
Isn't it happen all the time?
Yeah, it's not.
Trouble Actual says, from orange painted drones in QoS NAS to drones as wingman. Man, I'm getting old. I hope it all works out for the best. USA air superiority. N. Medden says, longtime listener, many weekends at work. Much love from Australia. Would any of you test pilot a drone with a seat controlled from elsewhere? No. I don't know what those words mean, but no.
No, you lost me at elsewhere.
Steven says, or Stefan, I hope you didn't sell the 01. No, it's still tucked away in my garage. I drove it this weekend. G. Walker says, our national anthem was played because the U.S. hosted it and POTUS was there. Okay. Cool. Eagles Wing says, they also probably chasing the aircraft violating TFR. No. I mean, we love to think so, but also
That'd be
no.
awesome. That'd be awesome.
Gonky, you're up.
Yeah.
Topic number 3.
Which one, sir? Yeah. We're cruising through them.
I guess this do the Indian and the Chinese and Indian Javitan fighters. Since we already talked about red flag.
I don't have that up. Hold on, give me a second. Do some more can't go out of order here.
It's almost 9 o'clock,
here,
dude.
Bring it up here. Where's the
oh, you know what? Let's talk about this for a second. Doug, you got the GoFundMe for WAGs?
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to talk about that.
Oh, that's
Fight
right.
one. I had Gonky's topic ready.
Perfect. Perfect. We're crushing it. Anyway, I actually talked to Wags this weekend a little bit. He is home. He's been in the hospital a very long time. Apparently, if you go down, I don't know if it's read more or if it's just down, he made a post. It's under the updates. Scroll down. Wags has said that for the background of what happened, he had some lab work that didn't. Can you click that, Doug? It says read more. He had some routine lab work that actually showed that something wasn't right. So they ran some tests. They found some bone marrow stem cancer termed myelofibrosis. It's basically caused bone marrow cells to create scar tissue rather than normal red, white, and platelet blood cells. Anyway, they were looking for a treatment, and then he had sepsis and he ended up in the hospital for a really long time. And he had to go to rehab and he had to go through it. Well, he's finally home, but now they're tackling the cancer itself. And so High Alpha Hooligans are promoting an event, and we are, promoting the GoFundMe for WAG because he's a friend of the channel and he's awesome for the community in general. I mean, imagine how many fighter pilots he's made from playing DCS and stuff. And he's the first one that'll tell you it's a game. He's a good dude. He's just an awesome person, awesome human, very strong person. I mean, the stuff that man's been through and kept a positive attitude. So we support him, and we hope you'll do the same. The GoFundMe link will be both in the description and in the chat. All right, Gonky, are you ready now?
Yeah. Here we go. Add to stage. Here we go. Perfect. China's 500 J-20 stealth fighters versus India's Zero inside the 5th generation air power crisis, reshaping the Himalayan frontier. So J-20 is a 5th gen fighter fielded by China, and it's also Pakistan. We talked about it earlier, which India and Pakistan don't get along very well. They're leaning towards the J-36, which is just coming online, export version of that. So India is kind of in a bit of a predicament here. They field mainly 4th gen aircraft. So we touched on this a little bit last week, Mover, with China ramping up production of this thing. So, all right, 1,000 of these things by 2030. And it's yeah, God, the thing's a bad memory jam, dude. So yeah, so 1,000 of these things by 2030, and India's worried about basically one of the borders there along the Himalayas, and how are they going to protect themselves. So they are actually working on this bad boy right here. So their own 6th gen aircraft, but the issue is, dude, I mean, the J-20 is flying, is in production through testing. I mean, it's in mass production right now. We talked last week about how they had 5 different facilities where they're building these things, and production is only going to ramp up. India's talking about trying to develop, test, and field their version of a 6th generation or 5th generation fighter. And right now, man, it's just basically a giant paperweight. So, they're left with, what can they purchase from another country to fill that void? Because like I said, now they're earlier they tried to work a deal with Russia with the Su-57, but that kind of fell through. So they're stuck, man. But I don't know. I guess the whole crux of the article is basically India's years behind, and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, man. I mean, as far as protecting yourself against a mass-produced 5th gen threat like the J-20, I mean, how do you do it with 4th gen fighters? What do you think, Mover?
Yeah, I mean, so that's both sides of the argument, right? They've got Pakistan, who's gone pretty much all in, or mostly in, with Chinese fighters, and we've seen them the first known PL-15 engagement happened during their conflict back in earlier this year. Was it this year? Has it already been a year?
Yeah, I think it's been about a year, man. You're right.
Has it been a year?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but through that conflict, right? So they see a need to do that. And now, I mean, what's the potential, right? They have to either indigenously produce, which India has done, or at least they've tried. I mean, they're
shooting for mid 2030s if they, which is, dude, that's a long time from now when you're this far behind.
Well, and that's the thing, is they've been in the past, right? The PACFA, which became the Su-57, they have been a part of in terms of 5th gen, which they still don't even have. They've had a lot of Russian stuff. It'd be interesting to see, if they develop, because they have the ability to develop their own stuff. Now, the question is, would they develop it and then try to sell it to other countries? Or is it like you're saying, is it better just to buy something that's off the shelf?
Yeah, because it's super expensive, and exporting is how a lot of times you recoup some
right.
of that. But that adds layers and delays, right? Because now the customer has a say in what the...
But then from a national security perspective, if you're relying on a supplier that's supplying your own enemy, I mean, I don't know. Wombat, what do you think, man?
No, I agree with what Gonky said. Like, I think they're kind of stuck, and this is kind of what they have to do, and it will be interesting to see, because like you said, Mover, that's typically typically how you recoup a lot of the costs of creating something is to sell it. But yeah, they're in a tough situation for sure. For sure.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see the timeline. Usually in aircraft development, at least here in the States, it doesn't get shorter, so to speak. It gets
Well, what even is 6th gen? How do we define 6th gen? And it's something in the guts, but it's the like 5th gen was easy to define because it was low observable and it was kind of the next step. 6th gen is kind of this nebulous.
I think the CCA.
UFOs.
I think the CCA stuff that we've been talking about is a huge part of it. But dude, listen, like we're integrating that with the new Eagle.
EX.
So
I mean, you
don't need a crazy new fighter to integrate new technologies. And we've always said really the engine under the hood, unfortunately, is the nerd stuff that's beneath the skin. So I mean, like I always bring up the Navy with the latest block Super Hornets, and even though they're nerds and we love them, but the Growler, if you have good tactics, some good electronic attack stuff, and a very capable 4th gen fighter, you are effective, especially if you're just talking defense and you own, if it's in your backyard, that's a huge advantage in and of itself. Like, I think you can put up, quite a fight.
We'll see what they do. I mean, I hope they don't have further conflicts, because that's the worst. It's the most effective, but it's the worst way to be testing the new stuff. So. Big Alb Sweden says, where I live, there's very little air traffic. If fast plane flies over, makes the local news to avoid panic. Media is the only ones panicking. If they even know what they look like. Jay Walker says, great show, fly safe. Thanks, Jay Walker. And Darth Vader says, coolest flyover I got to see was Game 7 of the 2001 World Series. Timmy says, off topic, why are some flight helmets decorated and others just gray?
What service are you in?
Yeah. Well, now the Air Force, you can wrap them.
You can?
Helmet wraps. Yeah, well, there were dudes getting helmet wrapped at the 301st. Had red wraps. Remember the Two Fits guys had wraps?
That's right.
All right. A quick but funny story, I hope. The media has no idea what they're talking about. Breaking news.
Breaking news. That's the theme of the show tonight, apparently.
So on the article, it says Army aviation students to fly solo cross country. On the Facebook post, however, they use the same words as this. For the first time in decades, student pilots are flying solo across the country. The Army announced Thursday as part of a curriculum change, the schoolhouse hopes will create more skilled pilots. I'm going to stop here for an editor's note. Cross country is 50 miles or more. Across the country
is
a long way in a helicopter.
It's a
long way in a helicopter. So I said across their nose, not up it. So anyway, but this is a change. I guess they had stopped doing solo flights. And the second lieutenant here says, we're operating in civilian airspace the way aviators do. I'm nervous, but every day I get a little nerve-wracked. He said the radio calls are the challenge. Shifting from military to civilian language was the biggest hurdle. The new model was introduced by the 1st Battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Bartlett. Why does that name sound familiar? Said the flight was a chance for students to combine the individual tasks they learned at the schoolhouse. We're asking them to think, decide, and to fly like real aviators. Flight school students will take at least 2 solo flights and up to 5 cross-country flights, depending on the weather, the Army said. Then they moved into tactical terrain flight. Solo flight is among the latest changes. They've had increase in accidents, 55% between 2020 and 2024, according to the Pentagon data. Also moved forward contractor run training. There's a video that they talk about this. Let's see, where's there?
Pre-start check. Just starting the program, basically, I see already a good trend in getting the students out of flying instruments back into flying VFR, which will segue into flying tactics.
a little nervous, but at the same time, very excited.
There he
when
is.
We did our solos back in P1. It was a little nerve-wracking to be in the cockpit by yourself, but then obviously you're just going through the motions, making sure that you stayed safe and operate the aircraft well. But at least for this time, we're going somewhere and we're going a little further, and we're actually operating civilian airspace in a way that is customary for an aviator.
At no point do they actually show a solo pilot in this video.
Right.
Or across the country for that.
Well, is two
It's going to
students
be a challenge when it comes to
That's my
trying to
question.
get them understanding the verbiage that they probably have never heard before. We're seeing that
There's
now
two people
with,
here, but
talking
they
to
both
some
look
of
like
the approach
students.
controllers,
Right. Are two
some of
students
the
considered,
things that the students
like,
have never had
solo?
an opportunity
Yeah, but he
to hear
said
when
by myself in the
leaving
cockpit.
Karen's airspace. Now we're going and talking to Jacksonville Center. We're talking to Atlanta Center.
Oh gosh.
Not a lot of Army aviators get this experience or have a lot of experience doing this on their own without doing more of that Army flying in Army systems, Army communication. And so I think it'll be a really good confidence booster and help prepare us for our careers.
Those are cool helicopters.
I know. I'm not much, dude. That is a really awesome looking helicopter, man.
Yeah, they don't like it and they're getting rid of it. But go on.
Really?
That makes sense. That
Are you
makes
serious?
Yeah, that's why they're looking
Okay.
for a replacement
sense.
already.
This one looks way too cool. Let's get rid of it.
It's the R66 or the Bell 505 now. So it's down to.
I don't know. That thing looks awesome, man. But yeah, I don't know. Does two students count as a?
That's what it is in T1s. Like in the Air Force, two students is there. But he said by himself.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you can fly that helicopter solo, but
Is it?
I'd heard they'd gotten rid of solos in the Army, and
why?
you never believe it.
They got rid of him in the Navy for a while.
What? In T-45s?
T-45, yeah.
Oh, dude, that was one of my most favorite.
Did you
flights.
actually go on a solo cross country in the Navy?
Sure did.
I went all the way to San Antonio from Kingsville.
Like
to Del
solo,
Rio.
solo,
Solo,
like
solo.
no formation, no nothing.
Nope.
I went to
That
Del
was
Rio.
That was the day I almost made a C5 go around.
Because if I remember
It's an awesome
right,
story.
in T-38s we did like ducks in a row.
No.
Like,
We
we all
did that
took
around
off.
the area.
Yeah,
They had a night was it night form? It wasn't night.
Yeah.
Night fam solo.
Yep.
You
Yep,
did
we
a
did
night
that too.
fam solo where that, and then you had a lead safe that basically flew around the area and corrected everybody from getting lost.
You got
But then
one
you
tank
did.
mover, one tank there,
Yeah.
one tank back.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that, man.
You went to San Antonio?
I went to San Antonio, and the girl I was dating at the time drove up there to meet
Oh,
me.
that's right. I remember. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
I was
remember
like,
now.
well, it's going to take her longer to drive. So
That's
I
right.
flew super slow to get up there. I configured like 35 miles out on the approach into San Antonio in a T-45 at the approach speed, just tooting along. And they're like, hey, best forward speed. I'm like, you got it. Like
Yeah.
just flying along. I land. They tell me I miss, because the runway, like there's like a turn off at the halfway point and then you have to go to the end. And I let it roll because I'm like, there's no reason to heat up the brakes. Like I'm in no rush. And they're like, please expedite off the runway. There's a C5 on final. And I was like, I don't know what a C5 is, but it seems important.
And at this point,
And I
I'm too afraid
turned-
to ask.
That's right.
Yeah, I turn off the runway and this massive airplane is just about to touch down. And I was like, and then I was trying to get out my chart to see how to taxi to parking. And I switch ground. And this is the most embarrassing and funny part of the story is I go to ground and they give me the taxi instructions, but I can't. I'm like, could you just like give me like progressive?
Perfect.
And they're like, you could follow the C5 because they got off halfway on the runway and down behind him. I was like, thanks, guys.
Mover, where what UPT base is Del Rio?
Vance.
No, that Vance
what
up
is down
north.
there? Laughlin.
So I had a friend in pilot training in Laughlin, and so I went to visit. And my plan, I asked for the carrier. I was gonna water everyone's eyes with my, and luckily they didn't give it to me. They
Yeah.
gave me the straighten, which saved my career, I'm sure. So
I'm
So-
sure.
because I went to Vance Air Force training, and then I went back to the Navy, and I was like, I'm gonna show those guys how awesome I am.
Show them what's wrong.
It was cool, man. It was
It
weird.
was
It was weird.
It was weird, but it served its purpose.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you gained a lot of confidence doing that.
Yeah.
A lot. We had a guy just after my class who he owned a condo in Pensacola, and he wanted to go to Pensacola, but it's one leg, right? So
Right.
the policy was, no, you can go to New Orleans, but you got to stay with the jet. Well, he decided he was going to go check on his condo in Pensacola because a storm had blown through, but he left the canopy of the T-45 open.
Perfect.
And left, and a storm blew through New Orleans and filled that cockpit up like a bathtub.
Yeah.
Like I saw pictures of it. I don't know if you remember that, but I saw pictures
do.
of it where like
It's
literally it
bathtub.
looked like somebody, I was amazed it was that watertight. I was like, really? You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was that. So that shut off the solo cross.
There's always someone, dude.
There's always somebody craps, and we all have to wear diapers.
It's so the whole thing is kind of interesting to me because when they're talking about, well, we don't know how to talk. It's like, I like,
You don't talk. It's the same. Like, I don't get that either.
I don't know how Rucker is because like they may be fairly sheltered, but like when we would go cross country in the T-38, because we'd go like in the instrument phase, right? You're going out and back and doing approaches and stuff. It wasn't that big. Wasn't like it was no different to talk to Vance approach than it was to talk to any. Like we would go to outlying fields and talk and stuff. So it's a little
center.
Well, and that's the other. They fly much lower. We had to talk to center to get to the airspace. They probably root around at low altitude and don't ever have to talk to anybody. But there's something, in my opinion, to be said by being alone and unafraid. I don't know how that translates with another idiot next to me who's also alone and unafraid.
I feel like that's actually more dangerous. Actually,
right? Like me by myself, but then me with another lieutenant is probably not the best plan.
Yeah.
But I could see why they got rid of it. Like, first of all, solo is awesome because you get lazy when you fly with somebody else. You're like, what'd they say? Like you're 100%. It's you. Single seat mentality, whatever, you can't be lazy. However, I don't think the Army has anything that flies single pilot or single seat except, so like I could see why they got rid of it. Cause it's like, hey man, you're always a crew.
Yeah, that's true. That's valid.
You're like our T1 Bubbas never went solo in the T1. We always put 2 students for their solo cross country. So, I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't be just one person in a helicopter.
But in the documentary Firebirds, what was that one helicopter with the radar on top? Wasn't she flying that thing? Yeah, the Kiowa. Is that solo?
No, that was for the movie.
Okay.
Because they had the sensor operator.
I'm just asking, man.
Gonky doesn't know a lot about heloflopters. So.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get the autonomy you guys got for our solo cross countries.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like we went
just go
ducks in a row, chicks in tow. Like we all took off, and it was a train to Chenault to go get
a train.
There's a convoy.
Decisions.
Yeah.
No, dude, we spent the weekend.
No, it was an IP in the lead, and then us in the back.
It's not really solo. You can't get lost. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
did you just
honestly,
was it like
your IMC? Can you really get lost? I mean,
it was Mover when you did it. Was it like just an out and back, or was it for like a weekend or something?
No,
see, ours is a weekend.
Not solo. We did weekends with IPs.
Yeah, we did those too.
2 ship usually.
Yep. But no, we would when we went. Like you spent the weekend, right?
I came back the same day. I think you had the option. I was like, no.
Yeah, I spent the weekend.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Holy no.
Dude.
Yeah.
Look,
I'd have had my match.com profile to the whatever the largest radius I could like that'd have been dangerous, dude.
Mover.
No way.
So when I was a brand new JO, man, in the Hornet, I had wings and everything. The skipper, I told the skipper, I was like, I'm gonna fly to Florida, see my brother from California. And he's like, here's the keys of the Hornet. Don't kill yourself. I'm a brand new.
I'm not talking
Lieutenant JG. No, but I'm saying, hold on. I make it to I make it to what's the base in New Mexico that we always use? Albuquerque. I make it to Albuquerque, and there's 3 Eagles that land. And there's a general who's the lead. And I'm talking to the captain, and he goes, He goes, "Where's your lead?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You mean to tell me you're allowed to take a jet across the country by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "And you can't?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh." And then I was talking up the Navy, and the story ended with me and the wheel well pumping up the APU. It's a long story. The jet broke, but
That's awesome.
But yeah,
You learn a
Navy
lot.
sure is great.
Yeah, it's like how awesome we are. But no, it dawned me. I was like, they don't. Air Force, I guess there's no solo unless you're a general. Then you bring 2 junior officers with you to do all your planning.
No, we
Carrier
do.
bags.
No, we did. I mean, I flew solo across the country every depot run.
Was that specific just for a depot? Like,
Yeah.
did you ever just be like, "I'm gonna go visit my dad. See ya"?
Not unless it was an air show.
Oh, dude, we did all the time, especially in the
No,
rag.
I
Dude,
never,
coming back from Key West, it was the starburst of Hornets across America.
when I went cross country, it was as a 2-ship.
Yeah, no, we
had
did
to
a
have
lot.
mutual support.
Dude, the funny part, so I did that one in T45s, right? But then I was an E2 guy. So obviously,
You're
I'm not
bringing all your
solo.
friends.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's a
solo.
party bus, right? Well, then fast forward, I get the transition, go to 106, and we're going on a Webstead, right, to El Centro for live day and all that stuff. And everybody takes the southern route across the country because it's winter, except for my Marine flight lead, who's like, we're going the northern route, right? Mind you, this is the guy that as we're walking out to the jet, he goes, "Have you ever done a radar trail departure?" And I was like, "No, sir." And he's like, "It's easy." It's not, especially when the clouds are like 500 overcast. And he's like, "Get tied on." I'm like, it's a Maltese cross. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm trying all the resets. But we end up going to wherever this field is that we're going to stop. There's a picture of it. I still have it. It's hilarious. Dude, I get a deedle, low oil on a motor, right? That motor completely craps itself. My mom's watching this. Like, I never heard this story. Then my flaps wouldn't come down, and I never got 3 down and locked. And I land at this field, and we go into the FBO, and he's calling back to maintenance at 106, right? And he's like, "Hey, do you know where the chip detector is to see if there's any shavings?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "It's this panel," typical Marine style. Like, he's all, and I'm like, "Okay, I have nothing with me. Like, all my stuff is in the pack out. It's like 10 degrees outside." I go out there and I open this panel, and all of the oil from the engine dumps onto the tarmac. And I'm like, and I walk back in. He goes, "Was there any metal shavings on the chip detector?" I was like, "You see that puddle right there?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's all the oil from the motor. I don't think we have to worry about the chip detector." Like, but dude, the next day, the skipper of the rag calls, and he's like, "You're taking the jet. Get out to El Centro." And that was my second cross country, was his jet while he waited for the maintenance stat. And it hit me as I took off. I'm like, I have not been solo since T45s, and I made a damn C5 almost go around. And that was the time where I couldn't get into El Centro because the weather was too bad. What are the odds of that? So I ended up diverting. Yeah, I go to North Island. All my buddies in my class were like, "Oh, really?" At
least you didn't go to Mexico.
So I go to North Island and land, and I'm not familiar with that place. And I'm like, "Hey, can you give me taxi directions?" This is a trend. And a Super Hornet just landed after me, and it was your favorite rag skipper in the back seat. And we get out of the jet, and the instructor, the pilot, the real person, was a buddy of mine from my E2 Air Wing. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you got the Hornet transition. That's awesome." And your favorite rag skipper walks up to me, knows me because he was the skipper in one of the squadrons in my air wing. And he's like, "What are you doing flying that?" And his pilot's like, "Oh, he got a transition to Hornets." And he looked at me on that tarmac and he goes, "That's the most surprising thing I've ever heard in my career." And he turns around and walks away. And I was like, "Good to see you too, sir. Thanks."
Perfect.
So my cross countries are not good stories.
See, solos are good. Solos build character.
You learn a lot.
You learn things.
You learn
things.
a lot. So yeah, it was, dude, that jet.
Perfect.
That jet was hard broke. They had to truck in a motor. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Let's see. Turd Ferguson says, if they are flying solo and they stop for lunch, who will cut their meat and see if they need a diaper change? because they're young.
I
You
think
see.
that's yeah. I think
You buy a lot of gas. A lot of
Do
times
this one,
it's
Gonky.
free. Meow. Thanks.
Jesus, we're gonna keep doing this. Our pilot says, "Are there any civilian test pilots carrier qualified?"
Not
Yeah.
that I know of.
Is there?
Civilian test pilots?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they
why it
got their
would be.
qual while they're in the Navy.
Maybe, yeah, but I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All
Not
right, Gonky, for our final topic, you got it.
Ah, just randomly had this one
No,
up.
Doug's already got. Yeah, well, that or Doug's got it. Either way.
Oh, here, dude. Let me get it. Yeah. So, where's it at? I don't know. All right, Doug, you got it up. The autonomous tanker that will finally free the F-18 Super Hornet from its most hated mission, which is tanking. Which I've talked about it before, but the Hornet makes a horrible tanker. So the MQ-25 Stingray is basically the Navy's answer to get the refueling mission off of the Super Hornet. So the Stingray is intended to take over that mission and return those Super Hornets instead of refueling back to in the fight. And the stat is basically 20 to 30% of an Air Wings Super Hornet. So both the E model and the F model. Go back to that picture really quick. Doug, tank. So the F actually carries a little less fuel, so it's actually a little worse at being a tanker. But they both, in my opinion, suck. Yeah, this is an older picture because that's the Black Knights. They were in my Air Wing, and that's an old Argo F-18C. What's weird about this picture is usually if you're tanking, the tanker is 5 wet, so they'll put 5 tanks on that thing. So not only is it taking the jet out of the fight, but anytime you put that many tanks on the wings, and given the Super Hornets pylons are stuck out like that, I remember even when I was in, they were talking about it, basically lifetime on the airframe. So flea, it's a big deal. Plus you're running the engines up higher RPM or higher power settings just to get it to go. So go ahead and scroll down a little bit. And that's referred to as buddy tanking. So back in the day, the Navy retired the S-3B Viking in 2009 and the KA-6D Intruder before that. Those were probably some of the best tankers that the Navy had as far as organic tanking around the ship. Then the Super Hornet took it over. And I remember in my Air Wing, we had both. And the S3 could actually give you fuel that you could use in like in a real tactical scenario. Whereas the Rhino would basically give you fuel that you burn to join on them.
To join while fueling.
To get your fuel. It was like, especially if you weren't expeditious, it's like, this is almost a net wash. And if there was a Congo line, dude, forget about it. I mean,
you were just doing it to practice tanking plugs. That's it.
Yeah. 500 pounds to 1,500 pounds was about all I would get out of a Rhino because, they have to save gas themselves, right? Because they're, once they hit ladder, which is their, the fuel calculation we used in the Navy, it's basically every 15 minutes your airplane burns this much fuel. Once you hit ladder, which is that amount of time at max endurance, you're stuck. You can't give no more, you can't burn no more. So scroll down a little bit, Doug. It talks.
Who decides that, Gonky?
It's just you do, actually.
Not the latter, but like, all right, so let's say I've only got 1,000 pounds to give you.
Yeah.
Is it controlled in the cockpit? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So you can set what you can.
Is
that
on
the?
You try to.
Like, where's that set? Is that a?
You calculate it. Do you look at your gas? So I've been the tanker one time
as the tanker. Yeah. So how do you set that? How do you say, hey, I'm only going to give this receiver 1,000 pounds?
You figure out your ladder. All right. Or if you're operating around the field practice style, like what your bingo fuel is, and then you work it backwards from there. And you kind of know how many jets are going to come up for gas, right? Because I mean, the launch is the launch. So you kind of know how much you can give. And I'd even like beforehand, I like in the briefing room, like, hey, I'm doing a self escort today, dude. I need 1,500 pounds. Can you do it? Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, so you figure out what you need and then you work backwards from there. And it's either ladder if you're operating around the ship or.
But how do you stop them?
Dude, when you can give no more, you can give no more.
So like
they
if the
have
first
the
one's
ability
up
to
and
shut it off.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Oh,
asking.
yeah.
I'm asking like, how do you like? No, I gave him 1,000. I gotta give the next guy 1,000. Like,
Yeah.
how is it registering to you in the cockpit of a Super Hornet?
The gauge.
Yeah, they're watching the gauges, just like a normal
That's it.
fuel gauge.
So if they
That's it.
say, "Screw you, I'm taking all your gas," then you just what do you?
They would shut it off, and that'd be it. Yeah, like
There
if
was-
they hit
there-
their number, you could be plugged, but you ain't receiving. So
Yeah, there was no master switch in the old Charlie where I could be like, I'm sucking this thing dry.
Like that's what I'm asking. How is the consent? How do we get consent?
No,
So
there is no
gives.
consent. They give. Yeah, they give.
Okay.
The tanker, the tanker gives.
I'm used to
so-
being plugged. As
Yeah,
a
see, it's very
Air
different. I
Force
was
tank
explaining
fighter.
this to
Yeah.
somebody. It's like tanking between the Navy and the Air Force is like
Right.
talking
And
about
full-
pumping gas to somebody that grew up in New Jersey and never pumped their own gas. Like it's
Yeah.
very different.
In full disclosure, I never was the tanker. I was the tanker one time, but it was at the rag, so I wasn't at the boat doing this.
Well,
So-
yeah,
You
I'm
were
just
closer
wondering,
to the
like,
guy
if-
that was trick or treat on the ball. That's where you've heard
That's
that term, I'm sure.
If Wombat showed up and he's like, "I need 1,000 pounds," and you're like, "Well, I can only give you 1,500 or 500," and he
So
takes
that's what you get.
1,500.
It doesn't work
Dude,
that way.
yeah, that wouldn't. So, and this is something that, like Catsy on the ship and the tanker aircraft work very hard on this for recoveries to where, like, yeah, no kidding. Like, we'd hear it as LSOs where it's like, hey, like 301's coming down at 5 miles, they're trick or treat on the ball, and you'd see the tanker hawk them,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. I mean, because there's nowhere else to go.
So what
Trick or
hawking
treat
means is
means-
the tanker will join on you, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
watch you
bolter and
bolter.
You can get a KC-135 to do that. It's not a big deal.
That's true. You're right. Actually.
Yeah.
But when they would do it is they would hawk, and then but the term in Catsy and the term on the radio was they were trick or treat, meaning they were going to go around looking for gas because they had no gas. So it was yeah.
Well, the article talks about two more things. One being the problem with the fact that the combat radius of current carrier aircraft, and I mentioned it about CCAs, right? The South Pacific, China, hopefully nothing ever happens, but if that's the theater, the tremendous ranges we're dealing with, and the Super Hornet, even the F-35, just doesn't have the legs. And when you put the MQ-25 in the mix, it almost doubles that, because that thing carries 15,000 pounds of fuel that it can give up to 5, and it can give that while still doing a 500-mile radius, which is awesome. So you can actually then position the carrier even further back, so you almost double your standoff range, basically your operating or your combat radius of your fighters, which in my mind that highlights the fact that although I loved the F-18, and the Tomcat guys used to say this all the time. The Tomcat guys used to say that they were the short-legged fighter on deck, but they had even longer legs than the Hornet and Super Hornet.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that article talked about as well, and I guess it's something that the Navy didn't ask for, but Boeing just did, is they put go to the bottom, Doug. It talks a little bit about, it has, in addition to fueling, it can actually help with the fight, right? So it's 15,000 pounds of fuel, or maybe some ordnance, right? Maybe targeting pod, things like that. So its primary job is fuel, but maybe they can put some actual stores on this thing and use it as a, this is just the first generation of this stuff, but it's interesting to see if the Navy will take advantage of that. Hey, let's put a pod on this thing. Let's put some weapons on it. See what happens. So, but I don't know. We talked a little bit about it, but I mean, I guess Wombat, let me ask you. This is my only thing with this thing. I'm totally for it. I think the Super Hornet's a horrible tanker. What a waste for a fighter. Do you think they can overcome, how do they overcome the deck ops, man? That, to me, that was the only, can they make it watch do they lead it around with a leash?
I'd imagine the control,
like
the way
Doug's
I would
Tesla.
envision this is that the controller, the person actually taxiing it, is the yellow shirt.
I see what you're saying.
Right. So like he doesn't have to do this because he's just controlling it. Now, you know, in the Navy's infinite wisdom, where I see this future is that the Super Hornet will go back to tanking because they're fleet out, and then they'll put an ordnance on these things to go down range. And it's like, Christ,
the Rhino will top off the drone before
exactly. Like, I mean, and you'll still have 5 wets, which like I've never flown a Super Hornet. I've made it very clear what I think about Super Hornets, but a lot of that is from waving countless 5 wet Super Hornets, which are the scariest things to wave behind a ship because they just are they're just so draggy and so bad. And it's like, dude, I agree. Like, what a waste of an airplane. Like, and I'm glad that we finally found a replacement for one of its missions after we've tapped out all of the flight life out of those aircraft that didn't need to happen.
Do you think the Gettysburg will shoot them down?
Well,
because that was a tanker. That was a 5 wet tanker, wasn't it?
It was a 5 wet tanker. Yeah, it was. So I think the deck ops are probably the least of our concerns, honestly, because I would imagine it's just going to be controlled by the yellow shirt.
But dude, once it gets airborne, it's easy. It goes up to the stack and it just
doesn't
holds in an orbit. Yeah,
which is 90% of the Super Hornets mission. So great job. That wasn't that hard.
Right, but I'm saying that's easy. That's autopilot.
Yeah, that part's
on deck. There's always weird stuff going on. You know, like
it's a very dynamic environment. Yes. But yeah, this thing isn't this the thing that the E2 tanked off of too? Don't they have video of that?
Yeah, and the F-35. I think.
I mean, it's
part of the testing.
How do you sweet talk this thing when you need like, hey, bud, I need 1,200 pounds, not 1,000?
You don't.
It's got 15,000 to get, dude. I think
that's a lot of gas to give.
That's a lot.
I don't know what the S3 used to hold, but that's a lot of gas to give. So
yeah, it's better. It should be better.
My poor join ups, I'd have a chance on.
Yeah, I will take a top off and I will give them a burner departure.
Yep, I used to do that all the time. That was my favorite. Hey, can you give me a little bit extra? Yeah, sure. Full burner as I leave. They're like, dude. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think it's a good move, man. I mean, given the fact that. I mean, they're kind of stuck with airplanes that are a little, short to medium range.
Yeah. You got to do something else. They're not going to be in the fight anymore. Or you got to bring the carrier closer, which they don't want to do.
No. Everybody's, not good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be interesting.
So we got, hey, Aaron says, wouldn't it be easier and cheaper to just build the S3 again?
Probably. It was a cool community, too. Like, those dudes they were just chill guys. That was the first Navy plane I ever threw.
Hey, that's a good point, man. This thing's expensive. I didn't realize it. This thing is like $100. It costs more than a Super Hornet.
Of course, it does.
They justify it, basically by its capability and the fact that they don't have to spend $10 million a copy on a pilot. Yeah, so it's $181 million flyaway cost. I mean, that's expensive, dude. For a gas tank with wings and like a couple servos, right? I mean, but
it's Boeing.
Well, it's the special discount, right, for the taxpayer.
I love my life, and I love everything about it, and I don't think that.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I guess they did the math, and it's cheaper in the long run. And then like we talked about, when you consider the time it saves on the Rhino and.
But it's already used the time on the Rhino. Like, you can't take that time back.
Semantics, man.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right, dude. You're right.
Like, this would have been a great idea, like, to replace the S3. Yeah. Not to replace the fighter that replaced the S3 doing the S3's job. Like, we're a generation removed from this. But hey, whatever.
All right. Holly Movie Star says, have you seen the P40 cast mini doc, The Sound of History? I've seen some clips from it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Released on YouTube a couple days ago. It's awesome. Yeah, I think it's great that they did that. Chili says, thanks for another great show, gentlemen. Thanks, Chili, for watching. Chili. Appreciate you. Old Navy guy says, trick or treat on the ball tells me I need to land, or I bolter and go to a tanker, only to be trick or treat on the ball next pass. Land your jet.
Yeah. So true.
That hurts
so true, man. That brings you back, doesn't it, Gonky?
Hurts me, dude.
You're like, here comes a one wire.
I get the ace all the time. We're good.
All right.
I remember
folks.
you telling me early on in my Hornet career, you were like, there's only 2 types of Hornet pilots, ones that can land on the ship well and ones that can tank well. Pick which one you want to be.
True.
And I was like, well, all right. Yeah. It's fun. Brings me back.
Well, gentlemen, we've
That's
done a
another
show.
Yeah. Free number 3.
Free 3.
Yeah. Great flyby, by the way. Seriously.
Yeah,
the
awesome.
Blue Angel, not the F-16s. That was
That looked
In
like
summary.
Hornets in the article. Yeah. No, thanks everybody for joining us. It's awesome, man.
We appreciate everybody watching. We hope we'll be here next week.
We hope so. That's right.
You guys will be fine. You didn't say anything controversial this time, right?
Well, we let the comments shake that out over the course of the week, Wombat.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's been a while since I've read comments of people talking about me. Can't wait.
James says, hey, boys, longtime viewer, first time donating. Thank you for everything you guys do. As an Aussie, it cracks me up how Trigger Mover gets when hearing kilometers. I have a good one. What cracks me up is how mad the commies get about me.
When you say commie units,
Yeah, commie
Like,
units. Not
it is a
units.
sensitive subject for some commies.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much right now.
Hey.
Have some chill out, have some vodka. Come on.
Yeah, just calm down, Boris.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a show. Doug, thank you for your service.
Thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Thanks, everybody.
Wombat, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Wombat. It's been too long.
Don't be a stranger.
I just got to be invited. That's all. So.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
See you guys. Have a good one.